Greetings in the name of the Most High Jah Rastafari. This is your girl Jen, Sister Jenny, Auntie Jenny. And if you want to get formal, it's Miss Jennifer Frederick, another edition of We Talk the Ting Unfiltered. Today is Friday, people. The week is over. Just now is Christmas. We will see how that goes. So let me start this thing right one time. You know, I must play the anthem and also the pledge. And now the pledge.
I solemnly pledge to dedicate my life to the service of my God and my country. I will honor my parents, my teachers, my leaders, and my elders, and those in authority. I will be clean and honest in all my thoughts, my words, and my deeds. I will strive in everything I do to work together with my fellow men of every creed and race for the greater happiness of all and the honor and glory of my country.
And people, you know, we always have some interesting things and tidbits that we talk the thing like to share with you all. So I want you all to listen to this. Give me a minute. Let me find it. Something I know you will find very interesting.
In 1492, Christopher Columbus set sail and stumbled upon an entirely new world. Believing he had reached India, he called the native inhabitants Indios, the Spanish word for Indians. This name stuck, even though the native tribes had their own rich and diverse cultures. Today, many prefer terms like indigenous peoples or Native Americans to honor their true identities. Respecting their heritage means using the names they prefer.
Yeah, so that's just a short tidbit on why the native or the indigenous people are referred and called American Indians, those from America. And also a little bit about the civil rights movement and who also it would have helped, not only people of African descent. So listen to this.
I always tell people the day the Latino, African American, Asian, and other communities realize that they share the same oppressor is the day we start winning. Because we are the majority in this country now. We have the ability to take over this country and to do what is needed for everyone and to make things fair. But the problem is our communities are divided. They're completely divided. And I talk about this all the time, is that like for Asian Americans and for African Americans, we probably have one of the worst relationships between any community.
Well, I bet you a lot of Asian Americans too don't, in my experience, don't even realize that if it wasn't for the civil rights movement, if it wasn't for that,
Yes.
there would not be 22 million Asian Americans in this country.
Thank you. So, and what I have been trying to teach the Asian community is like, friends, do you understand that your success, your prosperity, your civil rights that you enjoy right now was paid for with black blood?
Yes.
Right? And the fact that you don't recognize that shows you how much you take this for granted and how much you don't care about the future. That because
yes,
If you understood this, you would be grateful for their sacrifice and understand what they have gone through for you to have rights. And the second thing along that is I remind you that liberty and rights don't exist in perpetuity. They exist as long as we say they exist. And if you want it to continue in the future, it's not going to be black people again. They're not going to go to fight this battle for you again this time. You will have to go fight it.
See me, so long you not see me, when you see me, I will take it away. So long you not see me, when you see me, I will take it away. So long you not see me, woman said they want feel me, promoter said they need me, to mash up the place, to rip up the place, so come music don't steal me, and the power reveal me. Some woman claim that they dream me, I swear. So long you not see me, when you see me, I will take it away. So long you not see me, when you see me, I will take it away. I miss all the commotion. See me, so long you not see me, when you see me, I will take it away. So long you not see me, when you see me, I will take it away. So long you not see me, woman said they want feel me, promoter said they need me, to mash up the place, to rip up the place, so come music don't steal me, and the power reveal me. Some woman.
People, sorry about our technical difficulties. Apparently, I'll take off the whole camera. These things happen, so let us continue. So, all those who drop off, they come back on that. You know, the thing does be. So, as I was saying again, I'm going to play another piece of history first, and it's did we finish seeing the whole of that whole video with the, yes, I think we did. All right, so let me move to the other one. As I tell you, technical difficulties. So Caribbean diversity.
Did you know Caribbean people have some of the most genetically diverse DNA on Earth? Seriously, science backs it. We're not just mixed. We're a living map. Africa, Europe, Asia, indigenous roots, sometimes all in one person. Centuries of migration, resistance, and survival left traces in our blood. From the enslaved, to the indentured, to the island-born, Caribbean DNA is layered. You might see Afro-Caribbean, but there's East Indian in the family. You might hear a French last name, but the roots trace back to Ghana. You might see Chinese features, but the language is Creole. It's not confusion, it's complexity. You can't box us in. We're too blended for labels, too rooted for erasure. That's why our food is bold, why our music crosses continents, why our people show up everywhere, and somehow fit in and stand out. Because in the Caribbean, diversity isn't an initiative. It's our identity.
Yeah, so that's some history there again, and let's listen to some history of Jamaica.
Did you know St. Elizabeth is one of Jamaica's largest parishes? It sits in the island's southwest, with its capital at historic Black River. The parish name honors Lady Elizabeth Modiford, wife of Jamaica's first governor. Before 1703, it stretched across today's Westmoreland, Hanover, and Manchester. Its 12 kilometers of rich soil and warm climate grow Jamaica's widest range of crops. That's why it's called the breadbasket. Feeding the island for generations, Black River was among the first Jamaican towns to get electricity. It's also linked to Jamaica's first motor cars. Poll. Have you ever tried St. Elizabeth's famous border-peppered shrimp? Like, follow, share if Jamaica's parishes hold more stories than just beaches?
So just a short history there of Jamaica, and listen to this. Sometimes people who don't live here just really appreciate this place.
Where are you from?
I'm from Trinidad and Tobago.
What's the difference between Trinidad and Tobago?
Trinidad is nightlife, energy, passion, vivaciousness. So you get the life and the heart of a city, as opposed to Tobago. It's calm, serene, beautiful beaches, nice vibes. So you go one for party, one to mellow out. To an island state for sure.
What's the capital city?
Port of Spain, of course.
What's the population?
1.2 to 1.3 million. Keep making those babies, ladies.
Yeah, carry on making the babies, but it's actually 1.5 million.
What? You see what I mean?
Making the babies? What do most Trinbagonian women have in common?
The oil in the coil, that is from an old calypso, is that we are sexy and vivacious and full of life. Especially South women. Oh my God, you need to come down south. It's true.
I'll be down south.
Come to Trinidad and Tobago.
Tell me something most people don't know about Trinidad and Tobago.
The absolute best carnival in the entire world. We know how to put on a good show and we know how to have a nice vibe. So when you come to Trinidad for carnival, you are just going to experience freedom and bliss. And that is what it's truly about. You get to feel the people at their best, in their best element, enjoying themselves, enjoying their lives. Trinidadian culture, Trinidadian love, Trinidadian vibe, all in one little session. Carnival is a definite must.
See me, Eyo. So long you not see me, when you see me, I will take it away. So long you not see me, when you see me, I will take it away. So long you not see me. Woman said they were feeling me, promoter said they need me. To mash up the place, to rip up the place, so can music just kill me, and the power reveal me. Some woman claim that they dream me. I swear. So long you not see me, when you see me, I will take it away. So long you not see me, when you see me, I will take it away. I miss all the commotion and all the promotion and crossing the ocean and all the celebration and all my friends together at one location. I swear. You don't see me, when you see me, I will take it away. So long you not see me. So long you not see me, when you see me, I will take it away. So long you not see me. So long you not see me. Woman said they were feeling me, promoter said they need me. To mash up the place, rip up the place, so can music and see me. The power reveal me. Some woman said they dream me. I swear. So long you not see me, when you see me, so long you not see me. So long. I miss every grenade yard Haitian, and all them Belgian, and all Jamaican, and all St. Lucian, and all the islands. I swear, I swear, I swear, I swear, I swear, I swear. So long you not see me, when you see me, so long, so long, so long, so long, so long. So long you not see me. Woman said they were feeling me, promoter said they need me. To mash up the place, rip up the place, so come me what I'm feeling me, and the power we feel me. Some woman claims say they claim say nah. When you see me, when you see me, when you see me, I'll take it away. I'll take it away. I miss all the commotion and all the promotion and crossing the ocean and all celebration and all my peers together at one location. I swear, I swear, I swear, I swear. See me, so long you not see me, when you see me, I will take it away.
People, I want to sincerely apologize. My whole computer just shut down. Just like that, shut down, just like that, and went doing its own thing, rebooting and all that. I'm not an IT person, so I just am not going to panic. I'm not going to panic. So I'm back up, people. So let me continue. Thanks to the 159 persons who are logged on. Thank you all for staying with me, and let's hope that we do not have any more technical difficulties. Is them jumping and come? Let me get my cup of white water. No, I should have got my glass of my white water and my flowers and things. Jump me, sit down, gone from here. Trying to jump me this Friday. The zombie, zombie. So let me start, go back which part I was there, Papa. We ain't letting them stop we at all. So the woman was big enough, Trinidad, we will play over that because the whole thing, when the whole computer shut down, so listen to she again.
Where are you from?
I'm from Trinidad and Tobago.
What's the difference between Trinidad and Tobago?
Trinidad is nightlife, energy, passion, vivaciousness. So you get the life and the heart of a city, as opposed to Tobago. It's calm, serene, beautiful beaches, nice vibes. So you go one for party, one to mellow out. To an island state for sure.
What's the capital city?
Port of Spain, of course.
What's the population?
1.2 to 1.3 million. Keep making those babies, ladies.
Yeah, carry on making the babies, but it's actually 1.5 million.
What? You see what I mean?
Making the babies? What do most trained Begonian women have in common?
The oil in the coil, that is from an old calypso, is that we are sexy and vivacious and full of life. Especially South women. Oh my God, you need to come down south. It's true.
I'll be down south.
Come to Trinidad and Tobago.
Tell me something most people don't know about Trinidad and Tobago.
The absolute best carnival in the entire world. We know how to put on a good show and we know how to have a nice vibe. So when you come to Trinidad for carnival, you are just going to experience freedom and bliss. And that is what it's truly about. You get to feel the people at their best, in their best element, enjoying themselves, enjoying their lives. Trinidadian culture, Trinidadian love, Trinidadian vibe, all in one little session. Carnival is a definite must.
Where are you from?
I'm from Trinidad and Tobago.
What's the difference between Trinidad and Tobago?
Trinidad is nightlife, energy, passion, vivaciousness.
So that was Claudia. She was singing so excited and so happy we had to play she over again. I want you all to take a look at this, our Miss Universe out there, trending, the styles on them. And I heard that she wasn't the one who got the crown, no, but the one who got the crown from the local leg of the Miss Universe show. She, I don't know, not bacchanal, let me just say that. Something happened and she chose going again or whatever. And this was the first run-up. I understand she owns a clothing store, if I'm not mistaken, some fashion something. Well, it looks that way because she calls her outfits look fantastic. And everybody's speaking about it. So what you'll hear, a quick thing. So the pieces that she wear always looks unique and specially designed for her, which is so good. So apparently they really get a good designer this time. And she has that Wendy Fitzwilliams magic. I think so. That is just me. So I'm also seeing here in the Daily Express, or 3 days ago or 4 days ago, but it's relevant still. Um, Richards Carter Paul among 6 awarded Olympic scholarships. This was in the Daily Express. It said, stop Trinidad and Tobago athletes, Jeremy Richards, Dylan Carter, and Nicholas Paul, headline a group of 6 national standouts who have been awarded Olympic scholarships by the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee, TTOC, as part of their preparation for the Los Angeles 2028 Olympic Games. They are joined by fellow scholarship recipients Leah Bertrand, Makiria Wallace, and Tanil Campbell, all of whom will benefit from the International Olympics Committee, IOC, Olympic Solidarity Program, a global initiative that provides elite athletes with crucial financial and technical support on their road to the Games. 5 of the 6 awardees are Olympians who have represented Trinidad and Tobago Team TNT at either the Rio 2016, Tokyo 2020, or Paris 2024 Games, while 2 are receiving Olympic Solidarity Assistance for the first time. The scholarships are fully funded by the IOC, cover access to world-class coaching, competition exposure, training environments, and sports science service, as well as travel accommodation for qualifying events. Right? TTOC President Dwayne Henderson congratulates the athletes and said the initiative reinforces the organization's continued investment in athletes' development and Olympic readiness. So, well done there to those different Olympic committees in seeing the worth of our athletes, but also remember, under the People's National Movement, they started the elite program for athletes, elite athletes program, where there were prizes given for who win gold medals, bronze medals, silver medals, and also the elite athlete were given money to help them do the same thing like that. So it is nice that another organization too has stepped up to the plate and not just waiting on the government. Yeah, very good. I just want to say last night we played in the stadium, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, or Jamaica versus Trinidad and Tobago, vice versa. The game draw, unfortunately for us, that ends our dream of the World Cup. However, I want to congratulate the guys. I want to congratulate the coaching staff. I want to congratulate Dwight York. And any foolish person saying Dwight York should go and bring some white man or European, or they just under that whole imperialistic kind of thing. And not only that, what are you going to move Dwight York now for? His bonding with the team, they're getting and they're gelling, and that is what makes a team really good when there's a bonding and a gelling. You move him on for somebody strange. I had to come, the fellas now had to go back now to basic now to go with this coach want them to do and all. Nah, leave Dwight York there. He's building, he's young. He has played professional football at the highest level. He has coached internationally. He understands the culture. He is from Trinidad and Tobago. He understands the psyche. I thought it was a beautiful touch when he brought the strike squad in to talk to these young guys, so the guys seeing history and baton passing on. Leave Dwight York there. Anytime they remove him, Dwight York, I go in with a placard and do a one-man protest. Leave him there. Let he and the team grow. All over the world, it'll show you a coach with a team for years and years. The team ain't winning, but they're years and years building, and bam! When them get that that connectivity, wherever it is, they start, leave them, and then with the grandfather law, wherever pass, wherever it is, because search for players on the outside. Just like Curacao players and them who big enough the team where they playing all hot thing. It's from the Netherlands, you know, not Curacao, you know. But because Curacao and Netherlands, you know, that kind of colonial vibes kind of thing. But is Netherlands players big up them team? So just now we will be able to get players. We might have a Trinidadian who in Germany who playing football real good, but probably can't make the Germany team and come back here with that international skill to booster, or somebody in America, somebody even in New Zealand or somewhere. So leave him be. All too damn look now. Hey, always want some white man to come. We had Ben Hacker here and what? And what? We have our own homegrown who make it internationally. The world know Dwight York. And it, look now, give me a damn chance. Eh? So let me continue. I want to play something. This is a little segment of mine that are looking around the world at different spiritualities and different way people treat with their spirituality and practices and all that. It may be a little gross, people. It may be a little gross. But you know what? It's about learning. So let me just read for you first and then I'll show you the video. Let me just read. Let me see, I'm making sure I have that link still. I wonder if I have the link. Director, did you send me back the link? The whole computer just shut down and like all my phone that shut down too. Director, did you send me back the link? Oh, let me try and scroll and find it. Wait. Let me see if this is
Yes, I did send you back the link.
Papa, you. Okay. So I'm going to read, right? It's the Agori Cannibal Monks. It says here, Lord mercy. The Agori are mystical Hindu. The Agori are a mystic Hindu sect that are known for their extreme practices, which include cannibalism and consuming human remains. They believe that everything in the universe is a manifestation of the divine, including the human body, which is seen as a temporary vessel for the soul. We went to the other side of the river, regarded as holy place for them to gather sand for a funeral ritual. That's where the person writing this, right? I stumbled upon human skulls from the covered pit here. It's currently hosted in the temple in Varanasi, India. Drugs and alcohol. For the Agori, intoxication is more than indulgence, it is devotion. Alcohol, hashish, and hallucinants serve as sacred conduits to Shiva, stripping away worldly illusions. They drink whiskey from human skull as a ritual of detachment, but also switch to plastic cups. And their chillums burn day and night with cannabis, fueling meditation and an escape into another world. In their belief, nothing is impure, and every substance, like everybody, holds a path to the divine. Alcohol is consumed at alarming rates, but the Agori believe any intoxicating substances can help to get close to a spiritual state of Shiva. Hash is smoked religiously around the clock and so-called chillums. It enlightens them to help them to fall asleep next to the eternal fires of the cremation grounds. Shiva also smoked extensively. Not me who said that, eh? There's now the high Baba Rishi said, sometimes when we have money, we buy weed and we smoke and smoke. Today we don't have no money, but we only smoke baddest. I don't know what is baddest. Okay. So humans are eating religiously as they believe themselves to be wanting to act like Shiva, and as everything in the world is Shiva, they make no distinction between dog feces, steak, cake, human flesh, or rice. Another religious practice is the cutting up of the human body into 95 small parts that the 95 Agoris will consume. They believe it is good for both them and the person that has passed away. Oh God. Because this is India, a lot of the fires don't fully burn the humans, and the leftovers are usually eaten by dogs or agori. One agori known as Baba Trilok has been coming to the Ghat for many years. He is known for his devotion and the ritual he performs. He claims that post-mortem cannibalism helps him to achieve a higher state of consciousness. Oh God, people. Now remember, this is extreme, eh? So let me play the video. Oh Lord.
They have a human skull.
Come sit, bro.
Okay.
This is kids.
It's a kid.
8 year.
8-year-old.
We eat human body as well.
How does human taste?
I like salt.
Whenever you eat a human, are they already dead or are they alive?
No, death.
Dead. How do you find like a dead human?
There are many bodies, they cannot get burned.
Yeah.
So they put in river after a couple of hours, body came up.
Do you eat it raw or do you cook it?
No, we don't cook. We eat raw.
They have a human skull.
Come sit, bro.
Okay.
This is kids.
It's a kid.
8 year.
8-year-old.
We eat human body as well.
How does human taste?
I like salt.
Whenever you eat a human, are they already dead or are they alive?
No, death.
Dead. How do you find like a dead human?
There are many bodies, they cannot get burned.
Yeah.
So they put in river after a couple of hours, body came up.
Do you eat it raw or do you cook it?
No, we don't cook. We eat raw.
They have a human skull.
Come sit, bro.
Okay.
This is kids.
It's a kid.
8 year.
8-year-old.
We eat human body as well.
How does human taste?
I like salt.
Whenever you eat a human, are they already dead or are they alive?
No, death.
Dead. How do you find like a dead human?
There are many bodies, they cannot get burned.
Yeah.
So they put in river after a couple of hours, body came up.
Do you eat it raw or do you cook it?
No, we don't cook. We eat raw.
Okay, people. That is, remember, this is an extreme sect. Hindus, extreme sect. So I say, as I'm doing this spirituality thing, let me look at, this has nothing to do with cannibalism, no one. So this is just the Orisha. And listen to this, right? Orisha, the principal keepers and guardians of, I just put as the heading, but it's not, let me read it. The principal keepers and guardian of the cemetery in Orisha religions are the Orisha, Oya, and Iwa. Oya, also known as Yansa or in Ayansha, is the Orisha of wind, storms, and lightning, and is considered by the gatekeeper and is considered the gatekeeper of the cemetery. She is the only Orisha who is capable of controlling Egun, spirit of the dead, and helps soul transition from life to death. Offering for Oya, such as 9 eggplants, are often left at the cemetery gate. Iwa, also spelled Egwa, Lord Father, please let me be pronouncing these things correct, is another important Orisha association with the cemetery, death and spiritual transition. She is very severe and strict Orisha who lives inside the cemetery, often in coffins or sepulchres, and is said to dance on the graves to help the dead move on. Elagwa or Eshu is the Orisha of the crossroads and all doors, thresholds, including the thresholds of the home, and as the Chuppid, I'm spelling it out, people, P-S-Y-C-H-O-P-O-M-P, all work it out, helps guide the dead. He is often involved in the beginning and the end of all ceremonies, including those related to the dead, and he holds the keys to the past, present, and future, and opens, closes paths and opportunities in life and death. Together, these Orishas manage different aspects of death and the transition between the physical world and the spiritual realm or rule. So let me play you just a short video.
Before the first storm, before the rivers carved their paths through the earth, there was Oya, the goddess of wind, storms, and transformation. From birth, she was a force of nature. The winds rose with her cries, the rivers swelled at her laughter, and wherever she walked, change followed. Oya was not meant for stillness. She was a warrior, a queen, and a guardian of the crossroads between life and death. She ruled the Niger River, its currents carrying the souls of the departed, whispering secrets of the afterlife. She danced with the storms, shaping the winds with her hands, her voice as fierce as the hurricane she controlled. But Oya was also a lover. She stood beside Sango, the god of thunder, not as a shadow, but as his equal. While he wielded fire and lightning, she commanded the whirlwind, feeding the storm that made them unstoppable in battle. But their love was as wild as the elements they ruled, passionate, destructive, and destined for tragedy. When Sango fell, betrayed by his own pride and enemies, Oya's grief was unbearable. She had fought beside him, bled beside him, and now she stood alone. But Oya did not weep. She raged. Her sorrow became the fiercest storm the world had ever seen, winds howling as she unleashed her final fury. And then she was gone. Some say she died of heartbreak. Others say she refused to be bound by death, that she became the very storm she once commanded. Her spirit dissolved into the winds, her soul forever roaming, watching over those who embrace change and fight for their destiny. To this day, when the winds rise and thunder echoes in the distance, know that Oya is near. She reminds us that no end is truly an end, only the beginning of something new. For Oya is not just the goddess of winds, she's the storm itself.
I hope you all found that to be interesting. So let me move on. So I think this person questioning or asking this reporter is a Trinidadian. He looks familiar to me, but was asking the governor of California about his thoughts on what is happening in the Caribbean with all these warships and things down there. So take a listen, California governor.
Yep. Okay. Thank you so much, Governor Newsom. Thanks very much for the question. I'm Ryan Beechu from Trinidad and Tobago, small island state. I wanted to ask you about a geopolitical situation that's developing. Today, it's being reported that the United Kingdom has suspended some sharing of intelligence with the United States because of the strikes in Venezuela on Venezuelan vessels. I just wanted to get your reaction to that. Plus, the Trinidad and Tobago government has supported those strikes, and if you had a message to the Trinidad and Tobago government, what would that be? Thank you very much, Governor Newsom.
What happened to due process? What happened to the rule of law? I'm a little old-fashioned. It's not ready, fire, aim. It's ready, aim, fire. I believe in rule of law. I don't believe in the rule of Don, D-O-N. That's what we're up against in the United States of America. I don't want to lose my republic. I hope you understand and are absorbing what's going on in the United States of America. Donald Trump does not believe what our founding fathers believed in co-equal branches of government. He does not believe in popular sovereignty. He does not believe in a system of checks and balances. We have a supine Congress that is checked out. We have a rule of law that I said increasingly appears to be the rule of Don. Our politics needs to change. And I hope our international partners understand that. It's chilling to me to see those scenes of the United States of America blowing up boats with no transparency, no advise and consent with the United States Congress, the representatives of my country, with briefings that are laughable that members of Congress, both the House and the Senate, including Republicans, have criticized. If you can't criticize that, what the hell can you criticize? Think about that. He's now talking about land opportunities. The United States of America, this is our country. Should be a model for the rest of the world. And so we're calling that out. Forgive me, I know I'm on a global stage and maybe in politic, forgive me. But this is a precious moment in our republic, and I feel it needs to be called out.
Thank you. We're close to time, so we'll take one last question.
Right, so that there is a Ryan Beechu, I say, no recognize it. Or they asking the California governor, and he heard what the California governor said. I am seeing where Colombian President Gustavo Petro ordered his nation's security forces Tuesday to stop sharing intelligence with the United States until the Trump administration stops its strike on suspected drug traffickers in the Caribbean as relations deteriorate between the nations that were once close partners in the fight against drug trafficking. Right? Let me see where I get it from, because this prime minister saying these things is fake news. So this was CNC3 News, and this was November the 12th. Let me continue. With that now, you remember the UK, there was a report out that the UK said basically the same thing. Again, this prime minister, this drunk racist prime minister, said that that is fake news. And like reporters or somebody asked the UK, but I want to know if you think the UK intelligence or the diplomacy thing will come out and say, yes, we did say that, whatever the case. Anyway, this was NBC News. UK withholds intelligence on alleged drug boats over US strike, sources say. And this would have been November the 12th. So the other one, I think, was CNN, said that, no, NBC here. The United Kingdom has stopped sharing intelligence on suspected drug smuggling boats in the Caribbean because of concerns about the legality of recent US military strikes. Two sources with knowledge of the matter told NBC News. A British government spokesman in London declined to comment directly on whether the UK has suspended some information sharing with Washington. He just declined to comment. It is our long-standing policy to not comment on intelligence matters, the Downing Street spokesman said in an email. The US is our closest ally in security and intelligence. We continue to work together to uphold global peace and security, defend freedom of navigation, and respond to emerging threats. CNN's first reported the suspension of intelligence sharing on narcotics trafficking vessels in Latin America. The CIA declined to comment. The Pentagon did not immediately respond to a request for comments Wednesday. Britain is America's most important intelligence partner in a spying alliance of 5 English-speaking democracies known as Five Eyes, which also includes Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. Britain, France, and the Netherlands have territories in the Caribbean and have long worked with the United States and other regional governments to try to stem narcotics trafficking. In the past decade, cocaine smuggling to Europe from South America via the Caribbean has spiked, according to government reports and experts. Former military lawyer and legal expert and Democrat in Congress says the strikes violate international US laws that prohibit using military force to target civilians. They argue that drug gangs do not meet the legal standard of an armed group at war with the United States. The subject of alleged drug smuggling boats came up during a meeting in Canada of foreign ministers from the group of 7 industrialized democracies. Kaja Kallas, the European Union's foreign affairs chief, told NBC. Secretary of State Marco Rubio on Wednesday denied that Britain had stopped sharing intelligence. He also said his counterparts did not raise the US military campaign in Latin America and intelligence support for the operation during the discussion. Not with me. No one raised it, Rubio told reporters after the meeting in Niagara on the lake near the US border. It didn't come up once, Rubio said. He added, again, nothing has changed or happened that is impeded in any way our ability to do what we are doing, nor are we asking anyone to help us with what we are doing in any realm, and it includes military. Listen, I'm here reading no more. You know why? I don't understand how people or another sovereign country could be so bold-faced and brass-faced to just deny other citizens their rights and do what them want to do when them want to do it, how them say. That is a bully. If all they want to be looked at as the saviors and the benefactors and all that, then you can't be a bully. All they bullying people in the Caribbean, all they come down in a space, a zone, a piece, and bullying people. That is my opinion. And then boldface and brass. If all they come in to deal with drug trafficking and Ting and crime, I don't have no problem. But again, as everybody's saying, the penalty for drug traffickers and narcotics traffickers is not execution. The biggest drug lord, they say, is El Chapo, that name. He in jail in America, is he not? So hold the people and them in the boat and them and carry them to America and put them to trial, carry whatever drugs they always say they carry the thing in and have it as evidence and whatever the case may be. Why all you don't understand people have a problem with you all trying to protect America and keep the Caribbean safe and keep this one? Nobody have a problem with that. It's the way all they going about doing it and all they just doing it. And this drunk racist Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar is agreeing with everything. Is she has so far of Marco Rubio and them Bamsi? I just asked that question. That's how local parlance with us talk. She has so far of the Bamsi that she can't see what she's doing. Is something wrong? Listen to her. Persad-Bissessar backs Rubio fake news claim on CNN report like 23 hours ago. The news is more than 23 now. The Prime Minister is warning people about fake news, including fake news from international media outlets. During 2010, the general election, all of them spread fake news with Cambridge Analytica, where the test subject was Trinidad and Tobago, where the pink-haired man, they come down here and they launch the Cambridge Analytica in Trinidad. That wasn't fake news and misinformation. All they're concerned about fake news and misinformation now. This as she supported United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio, refuting as false a CNN report that Britain had stopped sharing intelligence with the U.S. on drug trafficker vessels over concerns about U.S. military strikes in the Caribbean. Rubio said nothing has changed and that impeded, and I read all that already. But Kamala Persad-Bissessar is in it for the whole ride. I tell you, Madam Prime Minister, take care and make history the wrong way, and become the first Caribbean Prime Minister from Trinidad and Tobago to end up in front of the International Criminal Court, All right. All right. Okay. Don't say, nobody didn't say, It's still a time for you to change that way, Okay. This is a place of peace where all want to us, all this one happy in all their life, boy. All this one happy in all their life, all they want to see nobody else happy. Whatever disease, all they have, whatever sickness and whatever thing, all they have, that all they go and treat with it. Don't want to see everybody in that state, that wickedness, boy, and talking about that mother and mother. But if I used to cuss, all they don't know what kind of mother that is. Well, you used to cuss on this show. So, all they go ahead. People fed up with the strippiness, People fed up. All they tell people when UNC win, everybody wins. And yellow is the code, and people, I didn't believe it because I know the experience from since Mr. Panda days and then 2010 to 15. Me didn't believe that. But people believe it, young people believe it, influencers believe it, this one, that one, and all they not holding to all the promises. Me a surprise. But the young people and them and the influencers and this one, I'm like, they're surprised. Like they don't read history. Because they used to read history, they would know. Like Mama Gizam talk with when UNC win all of we win. That's the next Cambridge Analytica. But people are fed up because they ain't getting no work. All they on games. All they find the most vulnerable. CPEP workers, URP workers, reforestation workers. All they find the most vulnerable 50,000 people plus contract workers. No the place ain't no commerce going on at that level. Nothing happening, only mountain they don't see activity in town. Because them workers was the one who shopping every day, fortnight, week, when the week done, they had a little susu, they have the little hustle going, so selling the little cigarette, this, all them kind of thing. Nothing happening now. And all the promises people when UNC win. But it seems to me when UNC win, only Indians win. And the few who does drag along is Negroes. That is my opinion. So when UNC win, certain Indians does win. Because not all Indians are sing like Kamala Persad-Bissessar and them. Them special, them extreme. So like it's when UNC win, them Indian and them does win. And some Negroes does get some scraps who does have to be go along. Because they have one the little scraps they get in. So to Tobago now, the Tobago House of Assembly has been dissolved. This was in the against CNC News and Elizabeth Gonzalez story, November the 12th. So we waiting now to the Tobago House of Assembly has been dissolved following a formal request from Chief Secretary Fali Chavez Augustine during a plenary sitting last evening. This paves the way for the THA election to be held, although no date has been announced. Speaking during the sitting, Augustine said his administration assumed office amidst uncertainty of the COVID-19 pandemic and leaves behind a record of resilience. The dissolution comes just a few weeks before current term was due to end on December the 6th. Under the law, an election must now be called within 90 days. With the assembly dissolved, the chief secretary and the executive council will continue operating in a limited caretaker capacity until a date for the poll is announced. Right? So, next 90 days, look out for a THA election. If Tobago people vote back Fali Chavez Augustine, all I say is my hand wash papa because I only like it so. I wash my hand, nothing to say about Tobago. I go do it. Love all you, always love all you. It's Trinidad and Tobago, so it's always I love. But me wash my hands, me have nothing to say. I good. So let me continue. So there was supposed to be a summit of the Americas. Let me find it. Unfortunately, I ain't put my things in a row, you know. Clean forget to do this thing, so I have to search through. I have to search through to get this thing. Give me a minute. I will get it. Oh, lordy, lordy. Oh. Oh. Right. Give me a minute. What is this? Right. This is a P.S. Robinson's story. Trump Summit of the Americas collapses amidst regional revolt. U.S. and the TT more isolated than any time in history. The 2025 Summit of the Americas, scheduled for December, has imploded after Latin America and the Caribbean withdrawal, denouncing what they call President Donald Trump's massive U.S. military escalation across the Caribbean. In a stunning regional rebuke, state abandoned the summit en masse, condemning the deep divisions and atmosphere of militarization created by the unprecedented deployment of U.S. naval and air assets. In an official communique, the Dominican Republic stated to host the gathering, cited a complex political climate and deep differences that made it impossible to ensure a broad, inclusive, and productive process. In concluding that the appropriate conditions do not exist for convening the summit at this time, the United States, the OAS, and the Inter-American Development Bank subsequently agreed to postpone the event after days of failed negotiations. Regional leaders went further, refusing to legitimize war games masquerading as diplomacy and leaving Washington and Port of Spain more isolated than at any point in recent memory. What was once promoted as the hemisphere's premium forum for cooperation has become a symbol of mistrust, militarization, and the widening resistance to U.S. dominance across the Americas. Again, as I said, this was a story from PSU. But Kamala Prasad says that this drunk, racist prime minister continue to give all-out support. I don't know if she feel the Donald Trump administration consider Indian people. I know she understand that they're considered minorities just like the Chinese, the Mexicans, and the blacks in America. Considered minorities. Never continues. So it seems to me, based on this action, that the drunk racist prime minister is taken, she wants to interfere with Carnival. It seems to me, in my opinion, anything that the majority of African people take part in, they want to destroy it. Because in my opinion, like they want to bring Trinidad and Tobago, an Indian state. And it's not unrealistic, you know, because one of the biggest racists this country ever produced, Harry Prasad Singh, H.P. Singh, wrote a book about dividing Trinidad and Tobago. One part so it's for Indians and one part so it's for Africans, so don't feel it is real. And it's had a group us here, right in this country, across the Carney Bridge. They pulled themselves away from everybody, created their own community, and then after they leave and went up, I think Canada or somewhere. So don't feel this thing is a joke thing, you know. Is it that Kamala Prasad Bisesa, the drunk racist prime minister, wants to carry out the vision and the dream of the biggest racist this country produced, H.P. Singh, Harry Prasad Singh, about bringing this Trinidad and Tobago like a little India and join it to Guyana and Suriname and make the homeland here? I just ask him, and African people become second-class citizens, begging, like how when St. James they called Coolitown, during indentureship, how the Indians used to be begging on the streets in St. James, begging for charity. And they used to end up in the poorhouse, and then when they die, bury in the poor cemetery. Is that how she wants to bring African people in this country? By taking away culture now? You stop the independence, where you know it's a set of people of African descent, mostly just come down in town with the Chirren. I ain't saying Indian people don't come too, but all they know what I'm talking about. You stop that and talk about noise pollution or kind of thing. But for Diwali, which all of we does enjoy, it had fireworks and all kind of noise, was no problem. Or let's stop it and say for security reasons because of whatever with ministers or whatever. We didn't have a problem with that security situation. But then we see them same ministers and them up in the cricket, up in Brian Lara Stadium, Academy. Then you fire over 10,500 people, mostly African people, who wanted us deem as PNM people, put them on the bread line. URP workers, put them on the bread line. Contract workers, put them on the bread line. Reforestation workers on the bread line. Is it systematic racism we've seen in Trinidad and Tobago? Whatever fantasies, whatever insufficiencies or insecurities that all they're suffering because all their great-grandparents and them were Dalits who came from India because of the inhumane caste system where had them living as untouchables, where they couldn't be teachers, lawyers, nothing. Picking up filth in the street, cleaning filth with their hands. Not me say so. The history is there, digging in garbage. They couldn't even go in the temples. And they run to come to Trinidad. I was happy to come because they give people like Kamala Prasad Bisesa and others like her the opportunity to be able to get a future. Otherwise, if she was still in India and Bihar, she would be considered a Dalit. And she might not be able to be a lawyer. So I don't know if it's this insecurity that all us mask with superiority. That is my opinion. That all they get in position. Well, we should be happy to help everybody. That is just about Indian alone. And we'll have a problem with African because you know they say, Lord Krishna are black. So I don't know if we know, let's see, we all just realize we's royalty. Listen to me. This thing in no race talk, this is no racism I talking here. This is real race relation talk I talking here, you know. Real talk I talking here, you know. Go and look it up. Is it that they're jealous people of African descent? Because let me tell you something. When Indians who born with dark skin, born in them communities, they treat them like dog, you know. They're full of class colorism, you know. Let her tell me a lie. But at the end of the day, it's the family, so they will stick with them and whatever the case may be. So is it all a problem with dark color melanin skin? It's because all they see the royalty. I just asking a question. Because what we do all here, we went down in India for centuries. For centuries, African people was in India. They still made the CDs and them. We have been traveling the world for centuries and teaching and helping and living amongst and assimilating and all that. What is the problem? So let me go back to where I was talking about. So in my opinion, under the guise of noise pollution, somebody really tell me it's alleged they want to sell Brian Lara Academy. It is alleged. So Kamala Ban started Brian Lara Cricket Academy 2 days ago, Newsday. Noise pollution is a nuance, whatever. This was the reason given by Prime Minister Kamala Pasabi on November the 12th for his decision to put an immediate stop to all flights at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy in Taruba. In her announcement via social media, PM said, I instructed that all flights at the Brian Lara Stadium be stopped as the noise has become unbearable for residents. Far, far too long, the issue of noise pollution and its negative impact on communities has been ignored. My government is committed to addressing this as promised. For several years, the southern venue has become a hub of major carnival fests, including Stink and Dirty and in Orange and Prestige. Is it the Stink and Dirty set we had them thinking so? Because she's talking about the noise. But Diwali, they know they didn't make a noise like every year. Carnival has come once a year. And if they show a picture where people living from the Brian Lara Academy, they're living far, far, far. Wherever noise traveling gonna be light, it's gonna be the same intensity right there by the Brian Lara thing. Not only that, the fete not held on the pitch. The fete not held on the cricket pitch. The fete is held in the car park. For service, as I said, by the end of 2025, government will pass the firework legislation in Parliament as well as to enhance noise pollution law to regulate designated quiet hours as new restriction on fete, music truck, residential parties, and band. What the masqueraders drum to? Not music truck? That don't make noise with the music? So they're going to ban that too? I tell you, it's carnival they coming for, in my opinion, and then they coming at panorama. So all them steel band who in communities and had a pan practice, they're going to say they're making noise and disturbing the residents. They're coming for carnival, they're coming for steel band. That is my opinion. Where you see they didn't get Castor. In my opinion, I'm giving it as the national instrument. You see up to now, they can't use the new quota arm. They can't use the money with the steel pan on it. If it was a Castor drum, it would have done reach on it already. They have in mind for that steel pan what was created right here. The Castor wasn't created here. The Castor come from Persia. The steel pan was created here. The material come from foreign because it was the oil thing. But the musical instrument that come out of that is African blood and tears and sweat and hard work. What make that pan into a steel pan which we know all over the world. The world steel pan is a national instrument. Or they have a real serious problem with, so they're coming at, I saying, so in my opinion, they're coming at carnival, they're coming at steel pan. Anything black, they're coming at it. I really don't know more. So let's stop and fetting things. So they have to stop fet all over. Why ain't stop the fetting Hyatt? That making noise too. People ain't around there. It's a woodbrook around there all that. The carnival bar and them who just go down in the dome or wherever it is, anything, you have to stop that too. Because we want to stop noise. You have to stop all noise. Let this country be a very quiet country and we just hear Tassa and we just hear all they talk and all they do all they want. And we go sit down in a corner and just say, yes, master. Yes, master. That's all they want you to come back to. I know the ancestors and them who fight. We ancestors who fight for with our freedom. Them ain't go lie down and take that so. We ancestors who fight for freedom from oppression, freedom from enslavement, freedom. Ain't gonna lie down and take it so the spirit and Nani, Pussy, Buster, I can call so much others. They ain't gonna lie down and see we talks and all the ancients and them who walk. Ain't gonna step back and see how they treat African people so because we ain't doing nothing. We just want to live in peace. In every ethnic group it will have some. who behave in a particular way because people at the end of the day. They're not really perfect. But in a large majority, we want to live in peace. But all the other races in this country, what's so hard in that? Why you want war here? Trinidad and Tobago is not yours. Come up beside me, test all making these decisions and did not come to the people who vote for. All didn't even come to the people who vote for all here. All they're not talking to these citizens. All they're just doing what all they want in this country. Trinidad and Tobago is not yours. Why ain't go India and behave that way? Trinidad and Tobago belong to all of us. We are democracy. And the same way you went to the people for them to vote for you, come back to the people and tell the people what all they want to do and get a referendum. Here's not all they own. People hurting. A woman called me today almost in tears. But what's going on in this country? All the work and all the insecurity. It's not we cause all the heritage to be so. If you look at it as the English who went across in India and would have used the caste system to their advantage. Why all I want to do that? All the insecurity, all the self, all the suffering from insecurity, because all it doesn't even admit that all they come from Dalit. All they be talking about Brahmin, and Mr. Pandey say Brahmin by both. He says so. I think Dr. Chirren Mohammed, if I'm mistaken, who I think in Costco, where she does do studies on indentia and all them things. I hear she say, if I'm mistaken, is Dalit who came here. And when they came the thing around, they realized they know one another, whether they take that Dalit Brahmin name. No, me say so. I am certain that time I hear in some lecture something that was good. But let me continue. All I want to piss in we face and tell you about it raining. So we ain't gonna smell the pests. We ain't gonna smell the urine full of alcohol and hate and division. We ain't gonna smell it because all they feel all of we Chuppid. We just want peace. We want to live in peace with the Indian brothers and sisters, the Chinese here, and everybody. That's what we want. Want all your soul. All the rest when night come and what? Eh? All of them be studying wicked and evil things. What kind of world all you want all the grandchildren? All you feel when this shit start, if it should happen, God forbid, that all you go jump in helicopter and fly out from here and go and live where? I continue, yes? So the culture minister in responding to the concerns people having with this noise pollution and stopping FET at Brand Lara. Yesterday in the garden, she said, find appropriate spaces for FET. Culture Minister Michelle Benjamin says the government is not stopping FETs, but is working with the National Carnival Commission and the Trinidad and Tobago Promoters Association to find alternative venues and create a more balanced, inclusive carnival for 2026. What she mean by more inclusive? So what are they going to carry these places and look for FET? Down in areas where big open piece of land in the south side, and then it will be more inclusive. I just asked them, what more inclusive? Carnival is a one time a year. One time a year. We are not saying that we are stopping FET. What we are doing is working to identify and promote more appropriate spaces that can enhance the experience while reducing any negative impact that could possibly arise. In a statement issued yesterday, hours after the Prime Minister came up with this announcement that there would be an immediate stop to FETs being held at Brand Lara Cricket Academy due condemnation from the Promoters Association. Benjamin explained that the government decision to stop FETs at the Cricket Academy was not restricting carnival, but creating balance. Then she now say that Culture Minister Michelle Benjamin said the government is not stopping FET, but is working with the National Carnival Commission, the Trinidad and Tobago Promoters Association to find alternative venues. And then the promoters come to say, that's all. In a statement yesterday issued hours after the Prime Minister came up with this announcement that there will be an immediate stop to FET being held at the Brian Lara Academy, it drew condemnation from the Promoters Association. Benjamin explained the government discussion to right. So she then just said they're working with the Carnival Commission and the promoters. So how come the promoters and them saying they had no consultation with her? You see why we just can't believe them? And they was always sending Negro out to say and cover up and to make excuses. Because they're afraid for one of them to come out and say that people in say it's racism. But yes, it's racism in my opinion. You're touching Carnival, you're touching FET, you're touching Panorama. Yes, that racism. That racism because Carnival was born out of the African community, born out of his struggle, born out of the Kambule riot. Yes, it's African. Everybody does enjoy it, but it's African. So she's trying to tell me find other places. Let me see where they go find. I'm going to continue. So somebody wrote an article. Death of the Carnival. But they say that they're consulting with the promoters and them. Death of Carnival, promoters warn, and this was yesterday. Death of Carnival, promoters warn over 100,000 jobs in limbo due to Carnival venue FET ban. And only remember, two people don't buy ticket and thing already for them FET and them. With an estimated 100,000 people set to lose work related to Carnival events, entertainment industry stakeholders are questioning the government's decision to ban the use of UDCOT-operated venues for Carnival Fest. They call the move a death knell to the country's entertainment industry. No, but the Minister of Culture said she talking with all you in consultation. In a press release entitled Death of Carnival Entertainment and Tourism, President of the Trinidad and Tobago Promoters Association, Robert Thompson, asked what is the real intent behind this move. The association condemned the ban, describing it as a destructive and short-sighted decision that threatens to cripple the country's tourism and entertainment industry. Yesterday, the Prime Minister took to social media, X, formerly Twitter, announced that she had instructed the immediate ban on FETs being hosted at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. She also announced the move to strengthen noise pollution laws in her intention to regulate music trucks and bars. According to the release, tourism, entertainment, and culture stakeholders within the TTPA, that is the acronym for the Promoters Association, have expressed shock and dismay at the announcement, which takes immediate effect less than 100 days before Carnival 2026. Many promoters who had already received approval to use the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, the International Waterfront Center, and other venues were informed this week that their permission had been revoked. I want to say this here because it's a long thing, so I just really essential. Right? While the TTPA referred to several other UDCOT controlled venues, officials said yesterday that the state agency was only focused on Brian Lara Stadium and would deal with other venues on a case-by-case basis. Guardian Media reached out to the TTPA for clarification, and they pointed to a news report which said other UDCOT premises will also be banned from use. Guys, the Prime Minister say one thing, the Culture Minister say one thing, the man from the promoters and them, he pointed to the article where they say UDCOT run thing. When they call UDCOT says just Brian Lara and it's face by face. And he had to show them where, when the newspaper called because they call the UDCOT. When they call, you remember UDCOT have a new board now, eh? When they call back, the man say, yeah, look at here. He pointed to a news report which said other UDCOT premises will also be banned. We can't believe these people that has lie. This UNC government does lie. This year, 2025, the year of the Jubilee, you know, all lies coming up, you know. And the truth will reign, you know. God will conquer evil, you know. It have a reckoning to come for all who like to lie, you know. A spiritual reckoning, eh? Let me continue. So I said, let me see what has happened to stadiums around the world. If there is have a problem, because I know Wimbledon and all them things, that's whole big concert and thing, and I look to see if people living around there and things. So they said, I was going to say, numerous countries around the world, particularly those in a high concentration of large sport venues and a strong live entertainment market, regularly host major concerts in their stadiums. North America, the United States, the US has the highest number of large stadiums and venues globally and hosts a vast majority of all concerts. Venues like MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, AT&T Stadium, Texas, numerous large college football stadiums are key spots or stops for world tours. Canada, major Canadian cities like Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver regularly host large-scale stadium and arena concerts for international artists. Mexico features major concert venues such as the Estadio Azteca and the Arena Ciudad de Mexico, attracting large international artists. Europe, United Kingdom, UK has a very active music scene. Second only to the US in concert frequency, iconic stadiums like Wimbledon Stadium, London. In London are famous for hosting massive concerts. In Germany, across Germany, including Berlin and Munich, utilize large stadium and arenas for music events. In France, venues like the Stade de France, near Paris, major concert destination you have in Spain, same thing. Italy, same thing. Asia, in Japan has many large stadium and indoor arenas such as Tokyo Dome and Japan National Stadium. And that have key stops international tours, South Korea, China, Singapore, Malaysia, India, other region, Australia, Brazil, Argentina, South Africa. So it's nothing new. It's nothing new. But listen to this. Stadiums in Europe, both old and new, are built within very close. Listen to it again. Stadiums in Europe, both old and new, are built within or very close to housing communities. Unlike the common practice in some other parts of the world, where stadiums might be built in suburbs and vast parking lots, Europe's stadiums are often integrated into urban fabric of the city. And this integration includes older stadiums, many historic stadiums, including the UK, like those on Fulham, Liverpool, Anfield, and some other older grounds like former Vetch Field in Swansea, are established often working class residential areas with terraced houses built right up to the stadium walls. Yeah? And the mixed-use development, modern stadiums redevelopment often include residential and retail components as part of a single complex, making them a central part of city life. The area around the new Wimbledon Stadium in London, for instance, now features thousands of new apartments and flats. Center City and location clubs like Newcastle, United St. James Park are right in the heart of the city center, making them an integral and visible part of the urban landscape. This close proximity can provide a unique atmosphere on match days and supports local businesses, but also brings challenges for residents such as noise, traffic, crowd on events days. But you know what? It is there because they weigh and balance the two, because it's entertainment, it brings business, and that's how modern stadia is. Right? In America, the proximity of stadium to housing communities varies significantly depending on the sport, the age of the stadium, and the urban planning strategy of the host. There's no single universal answer, right? Many older Major League Baseball parks and some NBA arenas were built downtown in downtown areas and often well integrated into existing urban neighborhoods with nearby houses and public transit. Examples include historic venues like Fenway Park in Boston or Wrigley Field in Chicago. So I just read out to show you that future thinking governments or people, they look at those things. You build your stadium in an area that is residential. It is more than just about noise. It's about bringing the people out to whatever concert it have, whatever sporting activity it have, businesses and all that. But the excuse is that people living and they complaining about the music. So then only that's why I said I had to shut down everything. Because people who live in close by Bricks Hotel could complain about the noise from Bricks. So we're gonna do tell them shut down Bricks or shut down Hilton, Hyatt. So the bars no music, nothing at all. The avenue shut it down. Just people come take a drink. Well, you know what? People ain't gonna be drinking because alcohol going up. People can't afford it. So all they really want to bring this place to nothingness. Because probably there's the retention from look, let me just say it. Let me continue. So I hear Roger saying that I think Kamala Persad is the best prime minister or something. So Roger is our old dog. Unless let us get brush easy. Or could get brush easy. He's a dog. Or let's stand for nothing. Stand for nothing. When it is saying that your tongue should have slipped back down your blasted throat. Oh, you so? If only tell people run, let them stand up, yes? If they say run, stand up. So, oh gosh, with this thing, I tell you, I didn't do the thing. I did not. Oh Lord, just now, eh? Just a minute. All you thanks all who are logged on as usual on Facebook and on Bounce Up channel. So, refinery start in 2026. That we must have it floating. Let me tell you something, eh? Don't let Roger and them fool all you know. The local producers of crude oil in this country is only about 50,000 barrels they just produce. Petrotrain, the refinery, could refine 190,000 barrels of crude oil. Dr. Lloyd Straker, if you're on, let me know if I'm talking stupidness. So Petrotrain was buying every day. And every day, just know that every day, using foreign exchange, US, that Petrotrain, whatever they want to call it, will have to buy that amount of crude oil outside on the open market to bring with the 50,000 so much also that the local producers doing to be able to do in the refinery. Where they get the foreign exchange from, like 1, 2. That refinery has been done for years. You think they could just walk in just so and open it back? They had to get people with real money to invest to bring that refinery back up to good working standards where you could pass health and safety tests. We ain't talking about buying the crude oil yet, you know. We're talking about the money it will take to bring that refinery back up because they about 7, 8, 9 years, whatever it is, down, nothing happening. Where they get money from? And as I say again, when they don't get our money now, they get money to buy the crude. Where they get money from? US. Not only that, Petrotrain was paying the most in percentage in payout in recurring expenditure by salaries, benefits, and all them kind of things that other refineries in the world who their one was up 30 or 34% anyway. We are 50-something percent. And the same players want to go back and run Petrotrain again. The same crew who it is alleged because Minister Future anytime bring it in Parliament, where they produce false documentation saying that some company or something fronting them, I think, 700 million or some kind of thing, so US dollars, and it was a lie, it was alleged. Them same people, Lord Father. So the refinery going to start back in 2026. Let me see what you think. Say, could the state-owned mudball refinery start operations sometime in the new year? That was the question TV6 posed to the Energy Minister after his announcement today about what he said are the preliminary findings of the report of the committee examining the restart of the refinery. The announcement was made at the American Chamber of Commerce of Trinidad and Tobago on Tuesday. Me even want to hear what Mr. had to say, because I find it to be one of the most inept Ministry of Energy that it ever had in this country. Let open back the refinery, and that is where Roger talking about coming up as the best prime minister. All this so, where they give all the detail, or they give all the to rub all the EPS. Then I see it, and same thing, MP Stuart Young and the MP Stuart Young now who was minister and former prime minister would have said, same thing happening now. Just now, let me get this story. Oh Lord, I'm so sorry I put this thing in order, you know. Oh Lordy, 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 give me a minute, give me a minute, give me a minute. Okay. All right, thing here, just now. Only give me 1 minute. Let me get these things out the way, so I might reach the story faster. Again, as I was saying, thanks for all those who are locked on and tuning. So let me talk the thing. It's always a pleasure to have you all here. I did not put this thing in order. I was really hustling today. So because of that, I had to be scrolling to find the story. I'll get it just now. Don't worry, don't worry. Hold it. Bear with me. Bear with me. I'm coming. 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 Boy, they go close down Calypso 10 too. Well, they can't have no chutney. Can't have no chutney, soca. Yeah, nothing. They walk around like zombie. You can't have nothing. What do you think? Oh, yeah. Right. Let me open the story. Right. All remember they said they're looking for investors. But how come? How come the blueprint launch Prime Minister come up established Sessa cut ribbons at the official launch of the Trinidad and Tobago Revitalization Blueprint held at the Diplomatic Center St. Anne's last week, looking on at UDCOT and First Citizen Chairman Tanka Bidesi, Planning Minister Kenny Saralsing, and Minister of Works. How come First Citizen and UDCOT ready to drive government infrastructure transformation? Where they getting money from? First Citizen just get downgraded or something? Is that why they run the woman from First Citizen board to bring their own people? The last time that was in office, when they leave and the PNM come in, they leave a 14% increase in salary to public officers that the PNM honored. No money. They went to First Citizen. They spent out all the money from First Citizen. All the loan and whatever they could get, everything gone. Treasury, everything. Now they're going back in First Citizen backside the government bank for the bank and UDCOT to drive government infrastructure with investors. Why ain't called Prestige Holding and all them Syrian and them? They was right there. How come them they make on this First Citizen bank when we bank and UDCOT to drive the infrastructure? Listen to me now. First Citizen Bank and the Urban Development Company of Trinidad and Tobago are ready to provide financing and critical support for the government National Infrastructure Transformation Program. You see all of them just lie? That is not what they say. They say investors, foreign investors and all kind of thing. Now is the bank and UDCOT. We're going straight to the IMF. So said Attorney Sanka Bidesi, who serves as the chairman of both. Yes, both for Citizen and UNICOD. During his address at the launch of the revitalization blueprint last Thursday at the Diplomatic Center in St. You know what I want to say? All who encourage people wasn't to come out to vote, take that in all your backside. All who went and voted UNC because they want to change because Dr. Rowley is a dictator, take that in all your ass. It's all they have in this position, the 100 and something thousand who ain't gonna vote. Take that in all your ass. All they say Dr. Rowley was a dictator. Well, look, dictatorship in all your ass now. Today's Friday. Yes, I said. They're doing things and not consulting with the people. They're not dictatorship. Just doing what they want. What they say goes. With a constant state of SOE. Them saying, no fireworks, no this, but the Wali have it. Them saying they ain't keeping it because of security threat when they look. Them and down in Lara Academy enjoying themselves. No fete. Because you have to have music and fete. Unless everybody put on a headset. So you go fete with a headset. Me, I don't know more of this, no, Papa. But you know who did warn only? You know who they warn only? Stuart Richard Young did warn only. Yeah. Another red flag. This development in the newspaper extract above is a very dangerous one. I caution Trinidad and Tobago about this government interference in our financial sector. It started with the central bank, then FCB, and Republic Bank Financial Holdings. It is clear that the UNC does not respect boundaries that exist for the protection of the value and stability of our financial institution. What we are seeing here now is the chairman of FCB, who is also the chairman of UNICOD, pledging financial support for government mega project using FCB like a personal piggy bank will lead to a deterioration of investor confidence and shareholder value. Is FCB being overexposed? We have seen a worrying decline of FCB shares value since April 20, 2025. And this irresponsible and reckless utterance by the chair of the bank is another red flag. Our indigenous financial institution must be protected and should not be interfered with in the manner that we are seeing. Stuart Richard Young, SCMP, November the 12th, 2025. We did tell all you. We did warn all you. All on radio, all over the place. No, Dr. Rowley's a dictator. Dr. Rowley don't like nobody. The PNM wicked, they're bad, but you know what? Under the wicked, bad dictator, all you said Dr. Rowley was 10,500 CPAP workers was working. European workers was working. Contract workers was working. It had business doing, small business doing, entrepreneur working. The money wasn't big, but people was surviving and making it work. Susu was running. You did having carnival. You did having fete. The First Citizen Bank was protected by a responsible board. The central bank was protected by a responsible board. Now they interfere with all institutions. We're going straight IMF. Or is it that these people, these nasty, dirty, stinking people, who people went and vote for, who people believe in, are they waiting, God forbid, for something to happen in Venezuela for them to take the people oil and take the people gas? All they love people take all they long. That is not all they own that Venezuela own. And it's have a way to do things. All they're making enemies with everybody and isolating we. All they love to thief. All they want to thief Venezuela oil, asking a question. All they want to thief Venezuela gas. So Venezuelans will sit down and see all they coming to take the gas where it's them on. Is that what they're hoping for? And making all these kind of erratic kind of judgment? Or is it straight IMF we going? Which one? I just asking questions, you know. Because there's a citizen here too. And wherever government in office, we want them to do the best for the country, for all, not just for Indian people alone, or just African people alone, or just Syrian people alone. All. What we see happening here not right. But don't say nothing, and they go like you. Don't say nothing, they go like you. I don't want nobody to like me. That have problems in it. I want people to be real. We can agree to disagree. We have values, we have principles, we have ethics and morals. You don't have to like me. I good. But I know one thing you will do, you'll respect me because I respect you. And respect is better than only liking me. Because you can like it today and I like it tomorrow. You see, respect, that is lasting. Unless you want to do something. You understand? Okay. Let me continue. So this one here, the AG says U.S. military intensifies exercise in TNT. So the Americans are back and on land now. They on land and they say military thing they do. And I don't know. I am not in the army. I'm not a military person. I don't know. If they say that is it, I don't know. But I know Venezuela say they must be looking at all them things. Because they ain't going no other Caribbean islands. There was just here where the U.S. got what they call them, the biggest general something for the whatever it is, they going back. Then they had a next one come and they do some training, whatever. No, they come back again. Like we going back to when it was Gina and Dinah. But I know it might have some Indian descent, some of them women and them. They might be happy because they might see that a way of getting like colored children. Listen to me, being real, you know. I've been real because colorism real in the Indian community, you know. You see all the short-sighted people who just looking at today for today. Look at the long run. What happened to be children and be children after? America is from 1,000 miles away from here. Venezuela is just 7 miles. You could pelt a stone from Cedros and bust somebody here in Venezuela, vice versa. First we close. We have always been neighbors. We have always been cooperating. We have always been, because before we came here, before African people came here during enslavement, the indigenous Indians, the Carib, the Arawaks, as they call them, Tianos and the Mayas, was traversing all up here. From Venezuela across here to St. Vincent de Martin. They were traversing all here. They have been here before us. They have been here before us. This is a land that they know. We have always been cordial. Have cordial relationship. Kamala Pasabi says this racist, drunk prime minister who seemed to not have joy for life. And like she find a bunch of people who them too like they didn't find no joy in life. Want to bring war to we in this country. We know anything about war? All of what she got said, this is not a movie, you know. This is not a PlayStation, you know. Where you play on this click, 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 ping, 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 whatever. Man head go ping, ping, ping. And when you then get up and you have your breakfast, you have your tea, you have whatever, and go back normal, you know. This is real life, you know. We know anything like living in the Gaza? Ever try walking wrong with one hand, one foot? The dirty, the skin dirty, the mother's crying, nothing to eat, nothing to drink, lying up for ration. They ain't getting ration. Hospital not safe, nowhere safe. All the feel this is a joke or what? All the who love all the UNC and love Kamala, she's all the mother. All the think this is a damn joke. This is real life. All the children and all the children will be affected. You think it's only PNM children? Or who like Dr. Rolly, who like Stuart Young? Or who like PNM? You think when they come to do this shit, they're looking to say, oh no, use Africans, so use PNM. Oh no, use Indian, use UNC. Oh no, use Syrian, you must be. No! It's the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago is we getting pulling. This for this woman, this drunk racist woman pulling Trinidad and Tobago. And she foolish and we didn't ask for this. If all they want war, you and all the UNC people and supporters, all they go and all they do all the war with them and leave we alone. We want peace. We want peace. All the feel this is a joke, you know. All the feel this is a movie and it can't happen and things like that. And then, listen, okay, we won all the, you know. We won all the, you know. And all they still going for UNC. You see the mess we in? It's even a year yet. Excuse me. So the AG now, he trying to justify why the Americans will say, me even reading nothing. I just want to ask a question. That's how Horn does bring you? That's how Tabanka does bring you? I just asking a question. It is alleged that he well, you know. It is alleged that he health and well. So is it that he don't care? Excuse me. He come to settle a score? Is it 1 foot in and 1 foot out? I don't know, asking a question. Because this man come, he say it and think, you, and you, and you, and you. He say it in parliament, not me. He come like he come to settle a score. All he doesn't understand is if somebody want all, they don't want all, yeah. All they don't understand that all. Unless somebody wants somebody else, all they understand that all. They can't deal with that all. Move on. You taught him that? Watch your face. Watch your face. Eh? Look now, let's see, this is a blasted joke, yes? Is that sort of sick people who ain't care because they mean even look now. Let me move on. So listen to this one where that's called a dunce. He does look dunce. He does just look dunce because of the things he say. Listen to he trying to justify this situation.
United States Southern Command, or US Southcom, will engage in training exercises together from the 16th to the 21st of November 2025. This upcoming activity forms part of our long-standing history of collaboration between the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force and the U.S. military. Trinidad and Tobago continues, unfortunately, to be burdened by the scourge of gun-related crimes and gang violence. These intensified exercises form part of our coordinated strategy to ensure that our personnel are optimally trained and equipped to address these issues in our domestic environment, which have taken a tremendous toll on our society. The government, in our manifesto, promised to return order to Trinidad and Tobago, and this is exactly what we are doing. That being said, the focus of the will be military-to-military engagements, allowing personnel from both countries to become familiar with each other's equipments, tactics, and techniques. The exercise will challenge the participants, offering them opportunities to expand their expertise and professional development. Training will take place across Trinidad and Tobago in both urban and rural environments, with operations scheduled during dusk and after dark, and several of these exercises will incorporate the 22nd Military Expedition Unit, Marine Expedition Unit, and also the Marine Expedition Unit helicopters as well too. This is one of the many side-by-side exercises that the U.S. military has long conducted in partnership with the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force. It demonstrates the strong partnership between Trinidad and Tobago and the United States based on mutual respect and is part of our long, fruitful, ongoing partnership with U.S. Southcom. During this period, the U.S. Embassy will also be engaging in outreach activities with various schools in Trinidad and Tobago. These visits follow the donation in September of computer equipment, office furniture, and educational resources by the U.S. Southcom through the U.S. Embassy, as well as infrastructure improvements carried out by U.S. Southcom's U.S. Naval Construction Battalion, sailors, or as they are known, Navy Seabees, at the Lochmaben Roman Catholic School.
Yeah? We're supposed to believe you. No, you might be telling the truth. But we're supposed to believe them, right? Because the USS Gerald or whatever it is, they say it was going in more schools. It only went one school in Cedros. And then say so. No. People talking about the SOFA agreement. Mr. Manning had signed. Dr. Rowley had signed. It's the same SOFA same SOFA that Kamala did sign when she was the Prime Minister back in 2010. Same thing. But it says nothing about America using here to launch no military attack on no country. That wasn't part of it. The training and the thing and the rear. But it has nothing about America using here to attack nobody. That's not a part of it. Kamala Kasabi self-assigned that too. That's no part of it. All of a sudden she switched. She switched. I don't know what they promised that woman, what they promised them. But I know the eye long. They have a history of the eye long. And likewise, not them own. We see that 2010 to 15, the takeaway is not them own. Not we say so. Makandal Daga say he never sees so much thief in. It's as if they invent the money. This is Makandal Daga say so. So let me continue. All the feel this is a joke. And sit down and don't say nothing. And why talking is racism? Me ain't talking racism, I talking real talk. The time for race relation talk should start, but it ain't gonna start in this country because they want to bring this whole country like India, in my opinion. So let me go to this Victoria Keys. Today is Friday, people. So November the 13th, TV6TNT.com is where I get the story. It says, Ministry of Housing, Annie Roberts, has launched a scathing attack on St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, accusing him of bias and allegedly his family benefiting from housing arrangements in Trinidad and Tobago. Roberts' comments come in response to Gonsalves' criticism of Prime Minister Kamala Kasabi's position on the ongoing U.S.-Venezuela tension. Right? So, the story is that Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, Prime Minister of St. Vincent and Grenadines, his wife Eloise Gonsalves, and his two children, Storm and I can't remember the daughter name, would have purchased houses or apartments, luxury apartments in Trinidad. No, one salient point they ain't talking about. Miss Eloise Gonsalves born in Trinidad. And by virtue, her children are Trinidadians by descent. Excuse me. Ralph Gonsalves' mother, they born in Trinidad. So by virtue of his birth, he is a Trinidadian by descent. His children have Trinidad and Tobago passports. And those Victoria Keys apartments were luxury apartments. They weren't subsidized houses. They were luxury apartment going at 1 point something million up to 4 million, and it was put on the open market for anybody anywhere in the world to purchase. I'll leave it there while I read some stuff. They mention all those things. So this is what somebody wrote. Give me a minute again, oh Lord. Okay, so it's not here. Let me go down. Excuse me. Okay, let me just get it here. Right. It's loading and loading and loading. It's Trinidad Express story. This was February the 10th, 2017. Government is hoping, who was in office then? The People's National Movement. Who was the Prime Minister? Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. Government is hoping to realize a $350 million profit from the newest Housing Development Corporation HDC Victoria Keys project in Diego Martin. Though built by the public sector, the homes will not be part of the state housing cachet but will be offered for sale to the public at market prices. Housing Minister Randall Mitchell said the project began 12 years ago and was nearing completion in 2010. But in 2011, the scope of the work was changed to include some high-priced amenities, including a tennis court and a swimming pool. It also included several penthouses that carry a $4.5 million price tag. Other smaller units in the gated housing department starts at $1.4 million, placing it out of the reach of the 100,000 applicants before the HDC. He said the project began at $250 million, but ended up by costing $652 million upon completion. Key speaker at the launch yesterday, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley described Victoria Keys as the most prime real estate in the West. He said, though, that there were 100,000 applications before the HDC currently, and while the mandate of the HDC was to provide low-income housing, it was getting harder and harder to do that as housing prices were constantly increasing. No low-income housing. Everybody in Trinidad and Tobago is looking for housing. There is no such thing as low-income houses in TNT anymore, he said. Initially, we were intended to build lower middle-income houses in this area, and the houses were built to that effect. And it is the finishing that usually puts the finishing price on the property, he said. Rowley said when the government changed, a rethink by the former People Partnership changed the finishing. And of course, today, finishing is as good as you would find anywhere in the private sector. He said, he said though that so much money was spent on the changes and the improved finishing that the housing was now priced out. We moved outside of the ability of the state to make these units available to persons who are not able to face the normal market, he said. He described it as inconceivable, but that these units would have been made available through the normal channels of the HDC to low and middle income properties. The state was forced to sell these units on the open market. The alternative would have been wholly unacceptable public policy, he said. He said the land under Victoria Keys, originally a quarry, belonged to the Port of Spain Corporation, but when the HDC took it over for the project, it carted away rocks and used that to backfill the land at Invaders Bay. It cost $44 million to quarry and transport the rock, and now the land is at Invaders Bay is worth over $1 billion. I am told, Rowley said. Excuse me. He said existing residents in Diego Martin area expressed concern that an HDC housing project will devalue their properties, and during a consultation, blasted him for choosing them in Victoria Keys. At the end of the day, I hope that the standard in the entire neighborhood now rises to the standard of Victoria Keys, he said. Dr. Rowley said the profits earned from the sale of these units will be invested in housing units in St. James, which will offer homes to low and middle income bracket earners. There will not be multi-million-dollar units, he said. Some for state use. Not all the units will be placed on the market. Dr. Rowley said 10 of those Victoria Keys units will be retained for state use. That is simply because from time to time the government pays rental in some location to put persons who the government is required to house for one reason or the other. Since the government owns this property, we will use it in that way and reduce or eliminate the paying of rentals, he said. The construction was completed by Key Shan Nona and includes 264 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments and 18 penthouses across 9-story buildings. So you see, it was originally for low income, and when the UNC came in, them changed it and put all kind of thing and send up the whole value of the damn thing, right? And in order to make back that money, you could not sell that to or rent that to low-income earners because you will not be able to afford that. If one of the apartments, luxury apartment, is 1.4 million, you know how much is the down payment and how much is the monthly installment? So this is what Randall Mitchell, who was the Minister of Housing, had to say. The story of Victoria Keys is really a story about how the PNM saved Trinidad and Tobago taxpayers from a 400 million UNC housing scam in 2010, when the cost of the project skyrocketed from 200 million to 652 million, out of the reach of those on the HDC database. Fast forward 2016, the PNM policy on its return to government was to allow the HDC to sell these units through real estate agents to purchasers who were invited to purchase on the open market at open market prices, as the usual HDC application qualifying criteria was waived in this instance. Prospective purchasers were also made to believe and were entitled to trust that their sensitive financial information would remain private and not be leaked subject to the course of our law. So what had happened, Arnold Roberts leaked all Dr. Gonzalez family business all over in that, the purchase, the this, the that. He started to talk about how much money Dr. Gonzalez's wife have in some bank somewhere and all that. He leaked all that, right? So here again, the Minister of Housing at that time, he said the UNC was responsible for taking those low-cost housing that people had applied for in HGC and turning it into luxury apartments, high-rise, out of the reach of the ordinary 100 and something thousand people who had applied for homes at HDC. Barney Roberts and them in talking that. So listen to Karen storm the funeral, Karen.
Houses, they included all of it in the article. Ralph Gonzalez is one of the people who has a difference of opinion with the Prime Minister with regards to what it means to be a zone of peace and the American action in the region. So he has his elections coming up in November.
That's what it is.
And now you're
that is what it
out
is.
there. But I'd just like to point out your analysis there. Another minister in that same ministry, he's wanted to say stuff about Venezuela and he put his foot in his mouth. Now Anna Robert comes out. And this is just one of those things where you have to ask, does minister protest too much? Like, are you, he without sin cast his face stone?
Let me tell you something. If you've been in politics for any time, I pretty well know what's going on here. You see what the judge said? This is July 2025. Judge slams export TTCO directs over 34 million lights for contract. You have something to answer for that. And Mark Wasson has an article coming out again, his investigative report on Sunday, which I am going to read. But you're not looking good. And the other thing too is, and I know this is a fact, this is not hearsay, I know this is a fact because I'm telling you, I have very, very, very close relationships with St. Vincent. And and I know as a fact, when Mr. Pandey was going up, that there were people in the opposition to Ralph Gonzalez who were working with the UNC in St. Vincent against supporting Mitchell. I'm not asking you, I am telling you I know it is a fact. It is so closely connected to me that I can say it without fear of contradiction. And Ralph Gonzalez understands that is what is at play too. It's not only the zone of peace, it's the politics. They're trying to throw mud on him, and so the hope some of it will stick. Because right now, elections are going on this, and he's probably going to win again. He's very, very popular regardless of what you think of him. And that's what they did. They're nasty tricks. I know that as a fact. Rented houses for UNC supporters. I am telling you without contradiction. That is what was happening with under Pandey. And the final thing I will say on this matter, which is, you know, I always think sometimes things happen for a reason. It may not, but it goes to his character. It goes to his character and his family's character. And this is not hearsay, this is my personal experience. When I was growing up in Dabadi or Mira, I must have been very naive about the Roberts family. I had done a legal opinion for the Roberts family in probate. I knew his brother, who I taught, not only taught him because he was in my lectures, but he was in my small tutorial groups where you get to know them better. I also knew his brother's wife, who was a student, and I got very close to her. And I actually helped her with whatever, we're trying to get a job to stay here. And I also know that she would come and call me for advice, and I was very close to her. I was invited to their wedding. I was invited to the wedding down in Chaguaramas.
Okay. That is Clico Karen they're talking. Okay. Listen to Randall Mitchell back in Parliament when he was Minister of Housing.
In fiscal 2018, we will step up our efforts to have all these units sold so that we can receive all the revenue possible. And very soon we'll be inviting, Madam Speaker, real estate agents to come in and assist the HDC in selling the units.
Right? He didn't say nothing different than he would have said. They had to do that and pay to make back money because there'll be a loss. The thing skyrocketed from how much? Million to over. Look now. Come now, man. Listen to Rambles. I wonder Rambles, yes. Listen to Rambles.
What you all are seeing on screen right now is Victoria Keys. Yes, that same Victoria Keys that has been in use for the past couple of days. Yes, that one. I'm going to use this example to show you all the difference between misinformation and disinformation. Let's get into it. As all of you know, HDC's mandate is to provide low-cost housing to persons who otherwise would not be able to get a home. And Victoria Keys fell into that because according to the records, not how I feel, not my opinion, but according to the records, Victoria Keys was conceptualized back in 2005 with that mandate in mind. And as a result of that mandate, Victoria Keys was supposed to have 264 modest apartments for Trinidad and Tobago citizens under the HDC's mandate. At that time, Rowley was the Minister of Housing and Patrick Manning was the Prime Minister. The PNM lost the election in 2010, as all of you know, and sometime in 2011, under the People's Partnership, they decided to instruct HDC to enlarge the scope of Victoria Keys. So the cost of the entire project went from $250 million to $652 million when all was accounted for. And these modifications moved the housing from people who were low to middle income to the upper echelon, which is not what HDC was supposed to be about in the first place. But they were in government and they did it. Where are we in the story? The project was conceptualized in 2005. It was almost completed in 2010. Then the PNM lost elections, the People's Partnership took over. They then modified the scope of the project that dragged it on from 2010 to 2015 when they lost the election, and the PNM reassumed office, now led by Dr. Rowley. But they had an issue. You had an HDC project that was supposed to cost $250 million taxpayers' dollars that ballooned to $652 million of taxpayers' dollars, which put these units out of the reach of what it was supposed to be for low to middle income persons. So at that point in time, the decision was taken to put the units on the open market for anybody who can afford it to buy it, to recoup some of that money that shouldn't have been spent here in the first place. The units range from $1.4 million up to $4.5 million each. Here how that was broken down. You have 3 towers, each have a ground floor and a first floor with 48 units each. These were reserved for the rent-to-own program under HDC, so they still found a way to fit in something there. That is people who can't afford it outright, but they can rent-to-own going forward. The 206 units from floors 3 to 8 were the ones that were sold on the open market for between $1.4 and $4.5 million. They have 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and 3 bedroom units. And then finally, you have 10 units that were reserved for the state. Now, all of this was and is public knowledge. They didn't sell these things in secret. It was on TV, it was in the papers, it had a big sign down the road, everybody saw it and anybody could have purchased it. But this is where this information comes in. Because out of nowhere, randomly, the UNC starts saying that Ralph Gonzalez and his wife and 3 children own 3 apartments in Victoria Keys. And they said it in a way where they deliberately didn't go into details as to how they would have acquired those properties. This information was said in a way to misinform gullible people, and then the misinform starts spreading it, and that is where misinformation takes over and spreads. For example, what was said, and then
so Anil Roberts drop a bomb, and I want to discuss the bomb because everybody quiet and the hush culture strong and everybody mouth so. You know me ain't hushing. So Ralph Gonzalez, the Prime Minister of St. Vincent, got caught with his pants down when he decided to bad talk Kamala Prasad-Vistesa, and investigation started to go in because, of course, when you make people your enemies, people will start to look into you. Only to realize that his wife and his 2 children all got HDC houses in Trinidad. To date, there are over 200,000 people on the list who are qualified and haven't received houses as yet. Trinidadian citizens who have qualified, who have met the criteria to qualify for HDC houses, who have met the criteria to be able to pay and afford an HDC house and have not received it. Yet, under the PNM government, so while your family and my family, right, suffering, and we on the list, me and Robert on the list 20-something years. And the St. Vincent Prime Minister children and a wife, each of them a house, tree house. Tell me if that makes sense.
The misinformed start galloping to the finish line thinking that they are informed, not knowing what they don't know. Meanwhile, a quick Google search will show you the evidence for at least one of those 3 apartments. And this is why, when I first opened the book and I saw that individual talking about it, I was like, this had to be nonsense. Because nothing of sense comes out of that person's mouth. Even though we live in a time where there's misinformation and disinformation, there's also valid information. You have no reason to just take whatever you see anywhere, even if I said it, and run with it. Do your own research. But some of you all like to be misled. You all like to be disinformed and misinformed. And here is where investigation comes in. We know that 10 was kept back for the state. We know that 48 in each tower went to a rent-to-own program. And we know the remainder was sold on the open market. Go and find out which of those 3 categories does Ralph Gonsalves and his Trinidad wife fall into, and let the chips fall where they may. If they were bought on the open market, hush your damn mouth. If it was part of the rent-to-own, which, as I know, Ralph Gonsalves' wife is a Trinidad and Tobago citizen, and HTC is for citizens of the country, if they fall into that category, again, hush your mouth. But if they got one of the 10 that was supposed to be for state purposes, then all of us should be making noise. But if it doesn't fall into that category, then we are just making noise for making noise sake. But you know why this distraction suddenly popped up? This is back in the news again. And that's why I keep telling many persons, Trinidad and Tobago doesn't like good governance. And this goes on both sides. They don't like good governance. They like governance of their choice. Because if you all liked good governance, people who were involved in this fiasco would have never seen the inside of the Red House ever in life again. They couldn't even see it at all. The then Minister of Agriculture in Japan had to step down because he said he doesn't buy rice as a Minister of Agriculture. And people in Japan was like, so you're clung in us then? It's clung to you on then. The price of rice sky high. And you just saying you don't buy rice as a minister. Now you had to go, bro, had to resign. Meanwhile in TNT, where we claim to want good governance, a $440 million scandal, and it's just business as usual.
Yeah? Ramos would have someone talk. No, I don't know the gentleman, but I find his lives, his videos are real informed, real research. And I like to, you know me, I love people who like to research. So this is Miss Eloise Gonzalez responding.
Well, the political malice has started against my family. But if the NDP gets in, it ends with you and your family. They are attacking Grace Waters viciously, and now they're lying about us. Here's the truth. While I love St. Vincent and the Grenadines with all my heart, I was born in Trinidad, and I am Trinidadian with roots in Dominica. After my then 90-year-old mother's property was destroyed in Hurricane Maria, we as a family invested in property in Trinidad, where 2 of my mother's sons, my brothers, and her grandchildren reside. We bought the apartments at market rate after our family suffered a tragedy. Soon these wicked men will expose a contract for an immensely qualified engineer who is building our modern hospital, which the NDP would destroy. These power-hungry people will stop at nothing to destroy all the good that SVG represents. Ask yourself, if these wicked men are willing to demonize our family, put the modern hospital at risk, and ruin our country's reputation, what would they be willing to do to you and your family if they get in?
I just want to add, right? If you're a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, but you're not living in Trinidad and Tobago, and some property get put on the open market, and you have the money, why you can't buy it? So if we were to follow that gentleman who bring up this whole issue, logic, right, and make a big scene, because even Dr. Al Gonzalez's mother, as I said, from Trinidad too, right? Excuse me. It is alleged he born. It is alleged Anna Robertson born in Trinidad. It is alleged he born in England. And Like his mother was either from Pakistan or Bangladesh or wherever, but from India. And the father from Tobago. So, by that alone, he should know nothing in Trinidad. He should even be nothing in Trinidad because he not Trinidadian. And you see your life funny. One of your parents wasn't Trinidadian. She married a Tobagonian, so she became a Trinidad and Tobago citizen. You wasn't born here, the status that you was born in England, but because of the fact one of your parents was Trinidadian, by virtue of it, to become a Trinidadian descendant, right? You see your life funny? Oh, Lord Father. Anyway, let me leave that right there. So, as Karen Ines the Sheriff, Storm a funeral say, live sports. And as Rambo said, live sports. So let me just play this for you one. Maybe that's the reason why. And the election coming up, and because as Ms. Sheriff say, there's always a link with the UNC and the opposition party in St. Vincent. How do UNC like to join with opposition all over the world? So probably they're trying to throw salt in Dr. Gonzalez's rice, and at the same time deflect from this whole life sporting when Mark Basan bring back on the table. I don't know, ask that question. So listen to Annie Roberts.
If he can find anything in here, you see there's some very serious things in here.
There are serious things. The Prime Minister summarized the fraud, theft, the breaches of the Proceeds of Crime Act. And you also made the point that the minister isn't involved, but yet the headline of one paper today says it was annual 34 million for no work in life sport.
Yes, and that's the Express, which is slowly becoming a weekly newspaper. When you read the story, it was Anil, big front page. And they said that Larry Hawaii said that Anil Roberts brought Adolphus Daniel to the Ministry of Finance.
Did you?
The Ministry of Finance called upon the Ministry of Sport and the Sport Company to come to a meeting with their Director of Budgets, their Permanent Secretary and the Minister to explain and to cut the live sport budget. So the ministry officials brought everybody. The literacy and numeracy part is a big part of the budget. So if the Ministry of Finance calls on the Permanent Secretary, the ministry officials and the sport company to say, what is this? Why do you need this money and so on? The ministry officials brought the person who is in charge of the program to explain it. Not Anil. Anil did not bring anybody. And they just want to make a link for pure politics. And it's rather sad. Anil did not bring anybody. The Ministry of Finance requested of the Ministry of Sport and the Sport Company explanations on their budget to see where they could cut and where they could not cut, and that was part and parcel of that meeting.
Minister Roberts, would you describe the live sport program following these allegations as corrupt?
I would not describe the program as corrupt. I would describe some people as corrupt who were involved in the program. If you see, for example, the executive summary, you say widespread breaches of procurement practice. Okay. And that's why we need the procurement legislation. Who's in charge of procurement? Whoever was there in their positions, whether public servants or contract workers. So that will have to be dealt with. There was over invoicing, they say in here, for services, whether janitorial or catering and so on.
Jack Warner read out a number of reports.
Let me tell you something. Jack Warner and corruption is an oxymoron. Tell Jack Warner to explain why on a Ministry of Works and Infrastructure letterhead he requested bribes and payments from contractors to deposit in account. Tell Jack Warner, just rest me, because when it comes to corruption, he's the last one to talk. But let's deal with the report.
Let's deal with what the report has
said. So procurement practice. What worries me then, you see, what the Prime Minister said is most important. It is a very sad day. And because there were 2,097 young men who were getting assistance who this program was designed for.
That was back when he was Minister of Sport and Youth Affairs. This is an article in the Daily Express, August 15, 2014. I want you all to listen to this. They were talking about Adolphus Daniel signs a 34 million contract with the sports company as Sports City, for which he did no work. He was given an extra 2 million. Daniel was actually paid 36 million by Sports City and not 34 million, which is the sum in his contract. I want all you to listen to this part. Listen to this part. Read down the thing. Read down the thing. Right. Timeline of E-beam and 34 million contract. E-beam Interact was registered on August 9, 2007 by attorney. That is the company that Adolphus Daniel, who there now, was using to do whatever match thing or whatever the case may be. Listen to this. Alison Eustache Utah Roberts of Roberts and Company. He is the father of former sports minister Anna Roberts. The director of the companies Adolphus Daniel and Gloria Curtin. Let me add that something now. So when he said there that they say how he must say that it was reported he brought, that Anna Roberts brought Adolphus Daniel to the Minister of Finance or something so. And he said, basically saying ludicrous, whatever it is, right? In this express piece on Adolphus Daniel from 2014, it mentions Anna Roberts' father and directors of this company, E-beam Interact, Adolphus Daniel and Gloria Gittins. It is alleged, I don't know if it is alleged that Anna Roberts' father and deceased Adolphus Daniels were childhood friends. All of them grew up in Belmont or some kind of bacchanal, so it is alleged. And I don't know. I'm leaving that right there. I want to deal with this union thing very, very quickly. Very, very quick before I end. You all see that post there? I would have put up that post on a chat. Trinidad and Tobago public servant, something. I just simply put that what public officers know when Felicia meets with the CPO, that is 5% go be on the negotiating table, not 10. Somebody by the name of JR responded, how you know? And how I know, this is what I put. What do you think? Why it not saying? Right. I said, because it's only for the period 2014-16. I said the 10% starting point of negotiation is for 6 years, 2014 to 16 and 17 to 19. I said the negotiating period is 3 years. Go and look at the Industrial Relations Act section 43.1. So GR, let's use our common sense and logic here now. 6 years equals 10% starting point of negotiation. 3 years, 5% starting point of negotiation. So 2014 to 16, 5%. 2017 to 19, 5%. 5 and 5 makes 10. Sincerely hope you get it now. That is what me say. And then I show them a Guardian, or him, a Guardian report, where in it highlighted in red, the CPO said, because he said that he's going to meet with the PSA the last week of this month. And in that report, he said, the proposed wage increase will cover 2 periods, 2014-16, 2017-19, representing a 5% increase for each period. Did I say anything wrong, people? Have I not said the same thing that the CPO said and have been saying? Because it's 1 period at a time, 1 3 period at a time. This fella named Dwayne Hewitt, who like a fly on fruit, who like a boomsy fly. And everything I put down, he want to show he brighter than me or more intelligent than me with. And I want to tell Dwayne Hewitt, you're not in my league, boy. You could read labor laws, labor regulation and all that, but you don't know how to interpret. And that is where your shortfall is. You want to be president of PSA one day? Well, you need to learn how to interpret what you're reading. Because all these regulations are interconnected and you have to go through all the interconnection. So he put up, because again, he always want to discredit me. Why are so important to you? You have mommy issues, you have mother issues. I don't want an next child. Go and deal out your insecurities somewhere else. You're not ready. You're not ready for industrial relation. All you know is one set of law and law and law. That is it. So he put up, the IRA, that is Industrial Relation Act, does not apply to civil servants negotiation. I think that issue was canvassed and dealt with at nauseam. Civil servants negotiations are governed by sections 13 to 22 of the Civil Service Act, not the Industrial Relation Act. The Industrial Relation Act does not apply to civil servants for the simple, I guess he was going to put, legal fact that civil servants are not workers under the Industrial Relation Act. So I said, okay. Okay. Okay, folks. Just give me a minute. Give me one momento. So I just going to give order, because when we negotiate with the CPO, the PSA negotiate on the behalf of public officers who are the members. The end of that negotiation, let's come a collective agreement. So what's a collective agreement? A collective agreement is a written contract negotiated between an employer and a labor union that outlines the terms and conditions of employment for a group of employees known as a bargaining unit. Right. That is what a collective agreement is, right? So if you look into the Industrial Relation Act, excuse me, it speaks of collective agreements. 43.1. A collective agreement shall contain effective provisions concerning appropriate proceedings for avoiding and settling disputes, and shall, subject to subsection 3, be for a term to be specified therein, not less than 3 years and not more than 5 years. The 5 years is when it go before the special tribunal. It moves from 3 years to 5 years. When it's from the CPO, is 3 years. It is in the Industrial Relation Act. I said a negotiating period is 3 years. So let me look at, because you want to move as if the Industrial Relation Act and the Civil Service Act are not connected, right? Civil Service Act 22.1 and 2 says, an award made by the special tribunal under section 21 shall be binding on the parties to dispute on civil servants to whom the awards relate, and shall continue to be binding for a period to be specified in the award, not less than 5 years from upon the date which the award takes effect. So when in the special tribunal, any award is for 5 years. 22.2. The special tribunal may, with the agreement of the parties to an award, review such award at any time after the expiry of the 3rd year. 3rd means 3. So there's mention in the Industrial Relation Act, section 43.1, about a negotiating period. Not less than 3 years, not more than 5 years. In the Civil Service Act, section 22.1 also mentioned not less than 5 years and a period of 3 years. Let me continue. The Industrial Relation Act, again, because we want to show the connectivity. We show the connectivity. I then was Cipriani and sit down behind the desk and put my head on the desk. I was paying attention. So, just a minute. Section 2C, Industrial Relation Act. The special tribunal established by the Civil Service Act. Again, the Civil Service Act for public officers, civil servants. This act, which is for public servants and civil servants, the special tribunal in the industrial court, which the Industrial Act treats with grievances and issues that will end up in the industrial court and how it treats with labor dispute and all that, right? The special tribunal established by the Civil Service Act and referred to in the Police Service Act, the Fire Service Act, the Prison Service Act, the Education Act, the Supplemental Police Act, and the Central Bank Act shall consist of a chairman of the Essential Services Division and 2 other members of that division selected by him, and shall hear and determine dispute arising in the civil service, who have public officers, civil servants, the police service, the fire service, the prison service, the teaching service, the supplemental police and central bank, as if those disputes arose in essential services. Meaning that when the Civil Service Act established the special tribunal, there's an area in that also, because we go to the special tribunal when the negotiation break down. So I'll go there. Essential services now, when there is dispute, like if the minister or labor would put an injunction on a union for whatever reason, whatever the case may be, the minister or labor follows the directive of the Industrial Relation Act. And it was essential services. And while we are not workers as in the Industrial Relation Act, because of that injunction against the union by the Minister of Labor, if whatever arises from it, we, the public officers, civil servants, we will be treated as essential services and have to go to be treated there. That is what it says here. That is what it says here. If disputes arise in the civil service, the police service act, and all those things, the supplement. So all those services I call, it says here the ending up is the prison service, the teaching service, the supplemental, and the central bank, as if those disputes arose in the essential services. So is there not an intertwining between the Civil Service Act and the Industrial Relation Act? Let me just read one or two more. This is in Industrial Relation Act, Section 4. For the purpose of this act, the Chief Personnel Officer, referred to in Section 13 of the Civil Service Act, shall be deemed the employer to any worker employed by the government. Are public officers not employed by the government? Just asking, that is in the Industrial Relation Act. Let me continue again. Page 17. I don't just come and just talk because I feel to talk. No, we ended just now. Let me go and make a live if he brave enough. Section 7.1 of the Industrial Relation Act. In addition to the powers inherent in it as a superior court of record, the court shall have jurisdiction. One of the jurisdiction is to register collective agreements and to hear and determine matters relating to the registration of such agreements. Inside a note about collective agreements, it says that an award made in the special tribunal with a party is not less than 5 years. And the special tribunal may make agreement and award and reduce such award anytime after the expiry of 3 years. The Industrial Relation Act says one of the things of the Industrial Relation Act, in addition to the court having jurisdiction, is to also register agreements, collective agreements, and to determine matters relating to registration of such agreement. So the point I just want to make, the last point is this. The PSA came out with when Leroy Baptiste was the president, and both hallmark to them, a hallmark is they won the case against the CPO and the special tribunal in the court, where the court say that you cannot negotiate for 6 years at a time. That's basically what it says. You can't negotiate for 6 years at a time. If it's industrial, if it's in the special tribunal, you can't negotiate. The special tribunal can make an award for 10 years. If in front of the CPO, can make an award for 6, not award, can negotiate for 6 years. So just on that basis alone, Felicia Thomas cannot go and sit down with the CPO to negotiate for 6 years. They just win a case against the CPO and the special tribunal, which says they cannot negotiate the CPO for 6 years, and the special tribunal cannot offer an award for 10 years, one period at a time. So that is the end of my case there. I've shown the connection between the Industrial Relations Act and the Civil Service Act, and they are both intertwined. That boy, Dwayne Hewitt, don't try to challenge me. Don't try to challenge me. You don't come out good in it because it's a song and look stupid. Go and learn. Go and learn. Take off some weight. I'm not fast shaming nobody. Take off some weight, and that might lighten your body. That way you have self-love, because like you self-hate, like you hate yourself. I'm not writing. Let me continue. So this is what Member of Parliament at the time, Minister, would have said. He was speaking on who I speak about, Stuart Richard Young, because at the end of the day, we want good leadership. We want good governance, and that ain't happening with the UNC. People could say what they want, because they like Dr. Rowley and Stuart Young or whatever it is. The UNC, they are in government now, and for 6 years, this country is on a downward spiral. They're waiting on, imagine, they're waiting for the destruction of another sovereign country by another sovereign country to get the people thing. And not understanding things like that, people will die. War, people don't live in war. People die. Our population is small. We don't have no artillery. No matter what America show, we understand that we don't have them kind of thing. We armed forces and the defense force is 5,000 or something like that. America army and them, look at how much they send long here, is more than what we army have. The military people in Venezuela is more. And not only that, them train all the citizens in Venezuela to fight. All of them train. Them is Simon Bolivar Chirren. Them come from that era. Them know what patriotism, standing for country. You will go there to try to thief for his demon? But we have a little 1.5 million people. And some of them is Venezuelans too. But we little army and we little coast guard, no disrespect to our armed forces, but it's enough for we right here. For we 1.5. Enough for we here. Not for them kind of thing there. So when all them wish, I see some UNC supporters wishing, yeah, America will save you and all that. All they done, all they fall on all their head. America will help themselves. And then leave we to pick up the pieces, whatever pieces it have, whether it's body parts or whatever parts. Nobody in America don't help whatever, but America interest, especially under Donald Trump, is for America. It's not about for no African or no Indian and all that. It's about America. So if all they feel all they get some sweetheart deal and all living in La La Land because all they drinking substance, smoking substance or whatever, I just asked them a question. And all they betting on that horse. Boy, we need real leaders in this place. People who could negotiate, people who are diplomacy, people who understand international relations. And that's what we need. And people who have a vision for this country, people who love this country, love all races in this country, who genuine. We need that in this country more than ever.
What we are looking to do is see how we can become a hub for airline industries. We have our own indigenous airline, Caribbean Airlines, and I hope and I'm sure they're in the room here today, and they are willing to partner with all other airlines in routes that make sense.
Minister of Energy and Energy Industries Stuart Young said Cabinet has authorized Caribbean Airlines to purchase aircraft and expand into South America.
Another significant step that we're taking, the Cabinet has approved the building of a aero park, as we call it, right on the outskirts of the airport. Well, literally in the airport's lands. This is a perfect opportunity for persons looking to invest, be it in business, be it in cargo.
The Energy Minister said government recently approved legislation that allows special economic zones, which would allow for bonded facilities for air transport.
The aviation industry, too, is looking at how do you clean up aviation fuel? What are the blends that you can utilize? Trinidad and Tobago is well advanced in that, and it is one of the issues, one of the factors that is going to prove to give us a competitive advantage.
Minister Young said there is need for improvement.
When I had to go to Venezuela over the past year, I had to get to the airport in Trinidad before midnight. I had to wait to board a plane at 2 a.m. to fly to Panama, sit down in the airport in Panama, which is Copa's hub, to then fly back down to Caracas. From the time I board the plane at Piarco to when I disembark in Caracas, 9 hours for an hour-and-a-half flight from Port of Spain to Caracas. And that is where you have to provide solutions.
Terry Ann Brown Campbell, TTT News.
Trinidad and Tobago, all you pass up this to vote for that. All you pass up this vision, youth, enthusiasm, love, patriotism for that. We want to bring war in Trinidad and Tobago, want to stop the carnival, want to stop anything that African people taking part in. Fire over 10,000 CPEP workers, mostly African people, URP workers, 50,000 and more and counting workers sent home. And it goes on and on. On and on and on and on and on. Now they want to take money from FCB and from and FCB going to fund the revitalization. That's not what they say. They say they're looking for investors. Well, them investors who are saying down there, nobody in going and invest. Now they're going to take FCB money to carry on the shares more. Investors start to get nervous and pull out. People start to pull out the share, crash the bank. Is it because that was developed by the People's National Movement? Or whatever the case may be, already associated with. So they go mash up that. What they go bring the banker in there? What they go bring the banker what? Ask them questions. This is a man who said that he will fight for his constituents, he will fight for Trinidad and Tobago.
MP for Port of Spain, North St. Anne's West. You have plenty more problems coming your way. Plenty. Look outside here and you will see Central Block, Port of Spain General Hospital. If you all don't open that in the next few months, we will be outside that hospital waiting for you. Because it is the people of Port of Spain, Diego Martin, Lavantil, all of us who looking for employment in that hospital. And just because it's built by the PNM, don't play, you're coming to lick it up.
Right? He promised he will fight fast. Port of Spain was sentenced with his constituents, and he has been doing it since he became the member of parliament. He walks his constituents twice every month and permitting he have more time than that. He's on the ground. So when that butterfly, that boomsy fly, that boy in the boomsy, want to stay like if Stuart Young don't do nothing. And how he shadow MP, really shadow MP in truth, nobody can see you. And operating of what Stuart Young doing now, my member, like it's something new he doing. He accustomed doing that. Against Stuart Young, so he will fight for Trinidad and Tobago, believe in Trinidad and Tobago. All the pass up that. For what we get now, a dictator, a tyrant, a racist, drunk woman. That is my opinion. People, I want to thank all those who log on Facebook, on YouTube. Bernie, thank you for that confidence. Excuse me. You said, Jenny, they feel you don't like them. You come with real facts, you're informative. Cynthia, Oxalita, Augusto, Andrew, Sarah, Bernadine, Andel, Jocelyn, Keith, Emmeline, Hollis, Jackie, Alicia, excuse me, Sweet Berries, Glennis, Kim George, and all those who are locked on to Facebook. Thank you all for always supporting Let Me Talk the Ting. Now we unfiltered. Thank you for always supporting. Spread the message, spread the word. We ain't preaching hate. We ain't preaching racism. We just want the best for our country. And we just seen it as we seen it. I am seeing where there seems to be a concerted effort to make African people in this country second-class citizens. I'm seeing like there's a concerted effort to have African people begging on the streets, getting more involved in crime, and then have the police and have the SOE and all kind of thing, all kind of thing. Those are the things I see. I see they're trying to wipe away history. It started with Kurt May, who want to wipe out Dr. Eric Williams' history, but we stand up against that and we produce the facts. We have to back down. Now we come, they're going at we culture, they went at we pan. We overcome that. The pan became the national instrument of Trinidad and Tobago, celebrated all over the world August 11th. They refused to put it on the $100. They refused to put it on the Dakota. Now they're coming at we culture, we carnival, we music, we togetherness, we love. They want to mash up that. This UNC, this particular UNC come like pestilence. They don't want to see people happy. They don't want to see the races living together in love and unity. They want chaos and mayhem and bacchanal. They feel with that they could rule. And they think we have no election. And they could rule forever. That is my opinion. But it's about Almighty God. The God is not just for all alone. It's for all away. And all they say during Jubilee is good over evil, light over darkness, and we believe in that. So we know we'll be victorious. We know all of us will be victorious against all and the things all they're doing in this country. God don't sleep. God don't sleep. God don't sleep. Let me see all who here on Bounce Up. I'm trying to reach the top so that I could go scroll back down. I wonder if that's a good idea, but I'm doing it. I want to be calling people who not here. So give me a minute. I call some that on Facebook. So I'm seeing Zaid, okay, Jenny, be careful, you get high blood pressure. You need to understand passion. Passion has nothing to do with that thing. Passion is just what it is. It has no high blood pressure to get here. Don't try to throw no kind of shade and gaslighting. How I talking, I calm. But because I'm passionate, that's how it has come across. And if I can't deal with it, then don't be in my life. Don't be in my life if I can't deal with it. Tell me about high blood pressure and all kind of thing. Leave me alone. This is my life. Go and listen to the live and then when I stop, go there. Don't tell me how to talk. Maureen Thompson. Rookman, Anon 001, Julia. And no love lost, darling. If you want to take it personal, or man, whoever you is, that's your business. No love lost. I just talk straight. Me twist up and bend up. Nobody can twist me and bend me. Atilia, Mr. Gibson, Kishan Ali. Well, you know what? You do that to yourself. A way to take. I'm going to be disrespectful now. Kishan Ali, I want you to take your soft piggy, pull it back like a stretch out elastic, and stick it up in your bamsi with dripping yellow. I'll be disrespectful today. You want to come on this live and disrespect? I could disrespect you. Let me say it again. Kishan Ali. Because half all would have gone so let piggy soft. They can't stand Attention. Now all the woman just leave all here and run for this strong, young African man who could stand up. So I'm telling you again, Kishana, you got something to do? Take your soft piggy and pull it like a stretch out elastic and see if you can stretch and reach back to the hole in your BAMSEA and plug that dripping hole with dripping yellow because I call it Chuppid. Brian, Brenda, MH37. So all those who I haven't seen, haven't heard, and all those who may be on Facebook listening, thank you all so much. This Friday weekend, be safe, enjoy the weekend. We'll bounce back up on Bounce Up Central. Let me talk the thing Unfiltered on Tuesdays, Fridays, 6:30. We had some technical difficulties, but you know what it is. We just do what we need to do, right? And people look out for the Let Me Talk the Thing little videos and some other things that will come to have the thing spicy and nice. Love you all. Stay blessed. Even love going to Kishon and all. That's how I just do it. Me don't keep people in mind. But if you're disrespectful and disrespect me, I will disrespect you back. That's one thing I tell people straight. You disrespect me, I will disrespect you. You respect me, I have respect for you. It's still all over the end of the day. I go on. Much love. Enjoy.
I know some of you wouldn't believe me, but if a lie asks me good friend Mackie, it was a big lying competition to see who they will crown as lion champion. Liars from all parts of the West Indies, big shot liars from all them foreign countries. From a field about 1,000 or so entry, in 2 days he boiled down and leave just 3. I had me eye on Liar the lion, because I know he does come with some good ones. But they had a younger fella named Debo, come from some village there in Tobago. He say his father is Tobago's best fisherman. Catch a fisherman wide 80 feet in span. He had to tighten the boat and swim back to land to get his brother Eric to give him a hand. You hear lie? That is lie. Lie? You hear lie?
Teacher Pussy say if you tell a lie, you're going to hell as soon as you die.
Why, sir? Check it out. Liar the lion, he laughed till he sweat. He said, Mr. Debo, ain't say nothing yet. If you really want to hear about fishing, let me blow your mind. Now listen to something. When you're talking about fish, you just hit the spot. I was hoping you did believe it or not. The fish your father caught, to you it was great, but it's them small fish my father does use to bait. Lion went ahead on points in the show, completely eliminated Mr. Debo. The next man to beat was Will the Outrageous. He asked the judges if he could lie first. The judges asked Lion. The lion agreed. Say any topic Will pick is alright with me. He outrageous, I strong. Let we meet head on. And when we done, see who head fit to wear the crown. You hear lie? That is lie. Lie? You hear lie?
Teacher Pussy say if you tell a lie, you're going to hell as soon as you die.
Let it go. Let it go. Shook it up. Yep. The outrageous say that he knew a tailor comes to making suit. The man is the master. If you show him a man coming round a corner, he could make him a suit and don't even measure. A talking about suit, sitting down correct, expertly made and fitting perfect. He used to sew for Shakespeare, make suit for Hamlet, and up to this day yet make a mistake yet. You know the crowd went wild, they couldn't cool down. As a liar, the lion losing the crown. The judges brought the crowd back to order and asked the lion to lie about a tailor. He said, my man is the best, Rolf is his name. Cutting cloth, making suit is his game. Don't show him the man, my tailor is class. Just show him the corner where the fella pass, and he gon' make a suit. That is Taylor, you hear lie? King liar.
Teach your pussy say if you tell a lie, you go into hell as soon as you die.
Whip it up.